2, 1. Hi! What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pocket Show. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, 2018, and this is episode number 63. Today's episode is a free-for-all, and I am joined by SaltySam, MiddleAgedStream, and MrFortyTwo. SaltySam, how you doing?
Good.
MiddleAgedStream, what's crack-a-lackin'?
Hey, playa! I've noticed you keep using crack-a-lack, and you're hoping it's going to throw me again?
A little bit.
I mean, I guess it technically did, because I had to address it.
Yeah. Debated. Get G.
Damn it.
42, how you doing, bud?
Good.
Good shit. All right, we're going to get to these sexy fucks in just a hot second. If you guys want to help support the show, ask a question, ask for advice, or give any type of feedback at all, feel free to ask a question during the podcast with the exclamation question command, or you can send us an email at crocs@acris.com, or review us on iTunes. So first and foremost, let's go around the room, introduce you guys to everybody that is here. So SaltySam, who the fuck are you? Where can we find you online?
My name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch at SaltySam, Twitter at the SaltySam, and Instagram Salty All Day.
My name is Jimmy, a.k.a. MiddleAgedStream on Twitch and Instagram, MiddleAgedStream on Twitter. You know why.
Fuck character limits.
I am MrFortyTwo, and I am on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitch at MrFortyTwo. Also on Twitter at MrFortyTwoTV.
My name is Knackers. You can find me on this very channel, or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Knackers with 3 A's. What are we drinking tonight, dudes?
So while you were doing the intro, music and run up to the show, I pre-apologized for my terrible selection of beer, because all I have left after the activities of this week is a couple fucking 12-ounce Bud Lights.
Easy there, Post Malone. Bud Lights.
This is literally the last 2 beers in my fridge. Well, I take that back. There's one, but it's fucking trash. It was pumpkin ale from fucking Sam Adams last fall. It was terrible.
What are you going to do?
There's a liquor store like every 12 feet in my county.
Oh my God.
So.
I'm just drinking a strawberry shiner, keeping it simple. I went pretty hard in the paint yesterday, so I just need to go slow tonight. Pretty hard in the paint.
Yeah. Are you touching on those subjects later?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'll talk about it later.
Cool.
Well, since Mr. Trump decided to say screw Canada and a bunch of other countries with his tariffs, I'm once again drinking only Canadian beer. Because I'm not giving you fools my dollars so you can keep them.
It's not our fault.
Don't blame us, okay?
Your shit was expensive before you did that.
Apparently Trudeau's actually going to be tariffing you guys for our maple syrup now too, and it's I just thought that was so funny.
That's all right.
Because I first read it and I was like, this has got to be like a fake news website that they're actually like
when I read it,
maple syrup, and then I was like, oh fuck, this is real.
Yeah. Ooh. It's like you're gonna charge us export tariffs on fucking steel and shit. Well, fuck you guys.
You don't get maple syrup.
Wait
fuck
a minute.
Your breakfasts.
Are you saying you're not a fan of fake news?
No.
Then don't talk shit about Trump, okay? He is the leading person trying to take down fake news. Gotta support him.
Anyway, local brewery, Wild Rose Brewery, and I'm drinking. I got a sampler pack from one of the places I go to, and it's got like 8 different beers in it. So
fucking sampler, dude.
It's a variety stuff.
Is that a Burton hat?
Yes.
Like the snowboard company?
Yeah.
That's a dope hat.
I like it.
I like it too. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. I'm gonna start calling you Michael from now on. Oh, whenever you wear that hat, actually. What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
My hat has a D.
For donut.
Donut.
I am drinking some very tasty. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's looking. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I went past my spotlight. I went to the liquor store yesterday, and I was feeling. Here's the thing. I was like, okay, I don't want to spend a crazy amount on beer, because we've got some events coming up, and I just want to save a little bit of money. So I cheaped out, got some PBR, but then proceeded to buy 2 boxes of cereal that were each $5 at this liquor store. They were Oreo O's and Rice Krispie Treats. 2 cereals that I have not seen in 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, since I've lived at my parents' house. So I saw those and I said, fuck that. I'm buying those right now. And then I actually mixed both those cereals together for my breakfast this morning.
Damn.
I don't know if you could make yourself look like more of a user of recreational products than walking into a liquor store, buying PBR in one hand and 2 boxes of fucking sugary ass cereals in the other.
And then the next morning,
Oh
combined.
man, I haven't seen these in ages, man.
Gotta try them, dude. Have either of you ever had those cereals? Not Rice Krispies, Rice Krispie Treats, the clumps.
They bring them back every couple of years.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I've
I'm
ever
a
seen them up here.
I'm a cereal aficionado.
I am not. I've never seen those. I don't really eat a lot of sweet cereals, so
I don't eat cereal at all, but I saw those and I said, fuck yeah, dude.
I used to eat cereal all the time.
I eat cereal every fucking day of my life.
What you got against tit and milk, Jimmy?
Titty milk.
You
I
like
don't
a
know,
bowl
just-
of titty milk in the morning?
At one point, I just stopped eating cereal, and it wasn't that long ago. It was only a couple years ago. So,
Can I ask you a personal question?
Mhm.
You can deny to answer. Did your wife ever squeeze you with titty milk as a joke? Spray you with? I'm sorry, not squeeze you. That'd be a little odd.
On purpose or by
Yeah,
accident?
just like, hey Jimmy, it just gets you right in the face.
No, it never played out anything close to that.
Okay, okay. There's only one person allowed to get sprayed in that house, and
Right. That's right.
it's the kid with the hose outside.
right.
Jesus, guys, get your minds out of the gutter. God, you never talk about sex here or anything dirty. Yeah. So I walked out of the liquor store, spending, I think it was $20, 2 boxes of cereal, and 18 cases of glass bottles of PBR. I like PBR. I will never turn down a PBR. They're shit. They're not great beers by any mean, but it's my beer.
It's okay if they're ice cold. Like if they're really cold, they're fine.
Yeah, and they're good
But
to chug.
Yeah, if they're anywhere close to room temperature, though, you don't want them. So, in
Yeah,
my
it's super
opinion.
gross. Did I ever tell you about I might have mentioned this on my show, but I used to live with somebody who would come home from work, drink, smoke, pass out, wake up in the morning, and then finish off cans of PBR that
Yeah.
were left there.
That's insane.
Ugh, God.
Ugh.
Yeah, gross. All right, next up. What the fuck have we been up to lately, boys?
I've been busy as shit offline. I actually earlier today was the first time this week I can even remember turning my computer on. That's first time in a long time that's happened, but everybody from last time remembers I was talking about I got the package or the pallet, 600-pound fucking pallet of parts and shit for this swing set for my son. So it immediately started monsooning the day that I got that fucking package. And when I realized by watching the 10-day forecast that the only days it was going to be sunny, I was going to be at work, I decided to start building this thing in my garage. And I built like 90% of the assembly. The only parts that were missing was the very top roof rails and like the shingles that go up top. And then everything else was assembled or at least pre-assembled. So like the big beam that has the swings on it, the ladders, the slide, like all that shit was pre-assembled inside the garage so that I could do it out of the fucking rain. Because when I say monsoon, I mean like there's a road, the road that you guys drove in on into my neighborhood to get to my mom's house is closed right now because it's falling the fuck apart.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So now like everybody has to go out the backside of the neighborhood because it's like, I mean, apparently this happened at like 6 my time. So 3 hours ago, I got a call from my stepdad and was like, hey, just let you know, you can't go down the hill in the neighborhood anymore. They have it shut off. And I was like, did the fucking road collapse? He's like, I guess so. They have it shut off like way up by the top where the park is because there's no houses between there. But like the last few days, there's been cones on the side of the road. And then today I went out and there was like a Jersey wall, like concrete barriers around where those cones were. So like I had just driven past, like through that, not 2 hours before then when I ran out to the store. But so monsoons. So I build this whole fucking thing. And then like Vans came over. He helped me put together the like the initial framing. I got in like every 10 boards or so, we'd stop, kind of lift up on it, make sure I could still move it. And then one night I started drinking when I was fucking putting this thing together. And I went a little overboard and I was just throwing shit up there. And by the time I was done, like the entire house and the upper tower were done.
Oh, God.
And I go and like I'm literally about to turn the light switch off in the garage and like go inside, like fucking job well done. And then that clicked in my mind and I went over and I could barely even lift the corner of this fucking thing off the ground. So like a few days went by. I had to work. So this past Tuesday, it was my only day off this week until the weekend. So, and it just so happened to be a sunny day in the midst of, I mean, it's been raining the past 2 days here. And so I fucking put cardboard underneath the bottom frame rails. I've got these big 2-inch thick concrete pavers that I use as like a ghetto ass ramp on my garage because I ran out of I needed like $3,000 to put a concrete skirt on the front of my garage. And I was like, fuck that. I can get a whole bunch of rocks for like $700. So I just fucking put these concrete pavers as like the lead up ramps for cars driving up. And then I just did the rest of it with bluestone. But I pulled the pavers out of the way and put the pallet that the original boxes came on in the front of the garage and literally like manhandled this entire fucking thing out of my garage onto the pallet. Then I screwed blocks of 2x4s into the corner so it wouldn't like shift during transport. Just took a load strap, strapped it to the fucking hitch of my truck and just dragged that motherfucker all the way across my yard.
Oh my God, dude.
So that was a fucking ordeal, but I got it done and got the rest of it put together. Of course, he fucking went nuts. I posted the video on Instagram, and so it was well worth it. And it ended up working out perfectly because I called me and Van's mom up and was like, "Hey, do you mind grabbing my son from daycare today so that we can make sure my wife's at home before he comes home and sees this thing?" Because there's no hiding it at this point.
Right, if it's outside in plain sight.
Yeah. So she goes and picks him up, hangs on. My wife gets home, and then by the time we were ready for her to bring him over, you know, my stepdad and Vans came with them, and they all got to see. He was like freaking out. I took a beanie and covered his face when he got out of the car, which looked weird in the video. It looked like he was like a fucking hostage or something.
Yeah, dude.
And so that when he got over there, you pulled the beanie off and he was just like dumbfounded, speechless. And so that was like the greatest $1,000 I've ever spent in my life. And a total of 10 to 12 hours of fucking work.
I was just about to ask how many hours it took.
That, I mean, for how big that fucking thing is, 10, 12 hours ain't shit. Like, it took me 60 plus to build that base cabinet in my garage.
Right.
Like, that was a week's worth work. 5 days or 6 days in a week working all fucking day long. So, I mean, 10 hours to build a fucking 10 foot 8 tall 17.5 feet long fucking play fortress. Well worth the time. And worth the $2,000 I fucking saved on buying one pre-built.
Right. And not only do you have a place where you can play if you want, you got to drink while building it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I could sit up top and like put the roof panels in, but my big ass ain't swinging on them swings.
No, you're gonna end up on fail army.
The fucking book, because I checked, because I had a feeling that at some point my son would be like, "Oh yeah, come up and go down the slide." So I checked the fucking book, and it's like single child rated for up to 150 pounds, which I thought, who's one child is 150 fucking pounds and can
this is
still
America
fit on this fucking slide. Like, somebody that short shouldn't be that wide. But,
shouldn't.
I mean, I was sitting on top of that thing and it was creaking under my weight just sitting there. And I'm like $195. So I'm not going to be sliding down that slide or swinging on those fucking swings anytime soon. But so I did that. Obviously, in doing that, I just clusterfucked my whole shop because it was everywhere. I mean, I had tables everywhere with parts spread out and hardware spread out. And especially when Vans was over, we got into this fucking system where I would go after the hardware, he would go after what pieces needed to go in, and we were just like slamming through fucking steps. I think we did like 28 steps in one fucking night, just bullshitting for like 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
And but all 96 steps are accounted for. It is in the yard, anchored to the fucking ground. She ain't going nowhere. And speaking of going nowhere, I might be going to look at a house next week.
Nice.
Possibly this week. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to. I saw the listing before it was supposed to be posted. Like, they posted it and then pulled it back. So I called the fucking real estate agent and was like, what the fuck's going on with this house? The one that was on the listing for it. And so they're not listing it until probably late next week. It's out of my price range for what I'm comfortable with, depending on how much I can sell my house for, which obviously when you build a shop that's 300 square foot bigger than the house, you put a little bit of equity into your house. So I know I'll be upside right on this house by a long shot. It just depends on how much upside I have, because I could stand to make close to $100,000 on just selling this house. So
damn.
That would put the new house well within range, and possibly within such a range to where if I used a little bit of my savings, I could be paying the same money for this house, which is twice as big and on 6 acres of land, which is almost 6 times what I have now. And I could pay the same fucking mortgage.
What about moving that playset?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pay somebody to do that shit.
Would you be rebuilding a shop at the new place?
Again, it would depend on how much this would cost. Like, the house already has a finished 2-car garage.
Okay.
That's attached to it. Obviously not big enough. For me anyways. Like, I have a car that sits in my garage, and like, if I moved into this house, I already warned the wife that if we move in, that she's not allowed to park in there, because I'm going to have the Firebird in one bay and my wood shop in the other bay.
Right.
And that's going to be the annoyance necessary for us to save up some money so I can build another shop.
Got it. Okay.
Like, that would be my plan. It's not just the size of my shop that I like. I like that it's detached and far enough away from the house to where I can do whatever the fuck I want out there. If it's 2:00 in the fucking morning and I want to run my miter saw, I don't have to fucking care about anybody.
Right.
Especially now that it's mostly insulated. Like, it's quiet as fuck out there. I can blast music all night long and nobody can hear it. Like, it's pretty awesome. So
Good shit.
But the true benefit to this house, really, because it's out of my price range, normally I don't even look at, like, I see the price, it's way too high, fuck this, I'm out. But me and Vans, I was showing Vans this house, and he's like, is that the house that's behind our house? And I'm like, nah, because I thought it was a house that was next to the one I'm going to look at. So we pulled up Google Earth and zoomed in on it, and it lines up the fucking plat lines of this house I'm going to look at line up almost identically with Van's house. So it'd be like 5 acres on their side, 6 acres on my side of the creek, and just solid fucking run.
You need to install a zip
everybody.
line. Zip line
Yes.
from one house to the other. Just.
I mean, it would be fucking. It wouldn't be ridiculously hard to do. It'd probably be way harder to pull the cable that far because it'd probably be close to 3/4 of a mile.
Okay. I actually don't even know how big an acre is. Is that a square mile or square footage? Like, is 1 acre a square of?
Yeah,
Okay.
an acre. It's like 100 yards by 100 yards.
Okay.
So about 300 thereabouts. So like my house, you saw my house. The back of my garage is almost the end of my property
Got it. Okay.
to the road. That's 1.15 acres
Okay.
is what I have. And then my mom has 4.87, 4.9, something like that.
Us city boys don't know what an acre is because I can look out my window and pretty much spit on my neighbor.
Yeah, fuck all that. That's like, I like how private my house is now, but this house I'm talking about, if you look at the growth of it, it's literally like we cut enough trees to build this fucking house. That's it. It's 6 acres of solid fucking woods. So, which is perfect for me. I mean, I grew up running through those fucking woods. So as far as it's a bigger
Naked.
house, butt ass naked. As far as it's like twice as big a house. It's a 2-story colonial with a 2-car garage. I don't even know what the inside of this place looks like, and I'm pretty much ready to put an offer in on it just because of the land. Like, I've been looking for a house with acreage on it for a long time, so it's just nice to just tell everybody in the world to fuck off. Like, even the driveway says fuck off. It goes off the road and like veers down to the right and then just disappears in the woods. It's like a fucking 3/4 of a mile long driveway. It's like a horror movie fucking driveway.
That's awesome.
Like, fucking door-to-door salesmen are gonna see that and say, fuck this place.
Won't stop Jehovah's Witnesses, man. They will run through those
They don't
woods.
come to my house anymore. It only takes one trip to my house and they'll never come back again.
Say what, motherfucker?
I just answer the door butt ass naked. And that's just an immediate fucking turn face and leave.
Oh,
And then they never come back. I did it when I lived in Wildwood, when I lived like 30 miles south of here, and I did it when I first moved here. I haven't seen one since. They tell their friends.
Yeah.
This guy was stark naked.
I saw penis today.
So, but as far as outside of games, that's about it for me. I've been, like I said, been working on a shop, been doing a shitload of cleaning around my house because I've got a real estate agent that's coming to look at my house tomorrow afternoon to kind of get an idea, do an appraisal, walkthrough kind of thing, kind of get some tips and tricks as far as like if I was going to put a couple grand to get my most bang for my buck kind of thing. Because like I said, I hadn't planned and still don't really plan on moving. And, but if I am going to move, I need this house to give me as much fucking money out of it as I can get. So that 100 grand mark is kind of where I'm at. In my own mind, I'm sure they'll set me straight tomorrow. But I mean, I don't owe that much on this house. I didn't buy it for that much. And I like when I bought it, it was 180,000. And I walked in the door with a 215 appraisal just because the house was foreclosed on and the bank just wanted it gone. So I paid list price for what they wanted for it.
Okay.
The day it went on the market, I came and looked at it and I put an offer in the same day and they accepted it the same fucking day. Like, I want this fucking house. Mine.
How soon after that day was it yours and you were moving in?
Like 30 days.
Okay.
It takes a while to close just because all the bullshit documentation that has to go on.
Right.
Because you have to transfer the deed with the county. You have to fucking pay all your taxes and get homeowners insurance and all that stupid ass shit. So it's typical that it takes 30 days for your loan shit to go through. But like I said, I paid 180 for it 6 years ago. I owe like 135 on it now, and I built a garage for cash money that doesn't count towards my fucking mortgage. That's worth at least 50. So that's why I said it's probably somewhere in the 250 to 260 range now. And
Okay.
after all the closing costs and taxes and dumb shit, I mean, I'd be 100,000 up. If I sold it for 250, I'd be at 100,000.
Okay. Well, shit. Good luck with that, dude. Moving's always exciting.
Yeah, even if it is like 200 feet that way.
Right.
It's literally, I take a left out of my driveway, I hit the stop sign, go straight, and it's at the end of that fucking road right there. So it would be more of a pain in the ass because it is so close. It's not going to be some big deal, but it's
right.
Like, I just got all new appliances in my house. Those would have to stay because there's nothing on the inside of my house that screams, give me 250 grand. And then I went through all the bullshit I went through with that. So I'd have to go through that again because more than likely the appliances in this house are old as dirt. And then I just built this giant ass fucking playset, and I'm just going to fucking pay somebody to move that because fuck all of that.
That's what I would do.
Or put it back on the pallet and drag it down the street with my truck. Because who gives a shit? This is a county, boy. We do what we want. But that's it as far as outside of work. As far as gaming, because of all the shit I just said, I haven't fucking played anything. Like I said, I think this is the first day this week I turned my my PC on. Because like when I wasn't working, I was cleaning or I was building or I was finally just loafing. I haven't just had a day to just fuck off and play video games in a long time. So.
Loafing.
Just loafing. Just not doing shit. Just sitting like a loaf of bread. And then, but I have been, I didn't really mention it last time, but the needle is somewhat in for Ark again. So.
Embrace it.
It would be fine, but like it was in. It was fully in, taped down, fucking dragging it around with me, thinking of ideas and shit like I used to. And then they updated the game again, and it fucked up a bunch of mods that we were using on the server. And it immediately just like turned that switch and was just like, these motherfuckers, they got me again. So we've since had to change the server up. So it basically just wiped out everything I had done. So fuck it. I'll probably play it tomorrow if I get any time. Because if they tell me the number that I want to hear, because these are the same people that are coming to look at my house tomorrow, the same people that have the listing on this other house. So I'm going to try to finagle a fucking viewing tomorrow before it's even listed on the market.
Brother, you know what you got to do? You got to suck that ass.
I'm not sucking the ass. Fuck that.
Also, when he walks in the door, can you just do me, if you're not going to suck ass, can you do me one favor? Shake his hand, and I need you to say, "Appraise me, Daddy," and then just walk away.
No, absolutely not.
Salty's the only father up in this bitch. Okay.
I feel like nowadays I'd probably get the cops called on me or some shit for that. People can't take jokes anymore.
Appraise me, Daddy.
Good chance that would have happened.
So, if they tell me the number I want to hear, then I'm as far as cleaning up this fucking house and getting ready to move. So,
did Salty's audio cut out for you guys right there?
Oh
yeah.
God!
It seemed like you got censored because you were gonna suck some ass.
No.
If I hear the number I want, I'm just gonna silence. Oh man, that was perfect.
So,
okay, I got your back.
But that's it for me. I've been working. Right, it's been raining, and I haven't been gaming. So
cool. I non-gaming. I just finished work. Like summer vacation started Friday evening for me. So I am done teaching classes for the summer. and that is really nice to have some time off. Also with work, I got a promotion this week, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, I also coach, and the guy who was the head coach, the soccer head coach for the boys team, he resigned because I think he wants to go somewhere else or whatever. But so I was, I told the athletic director I was interested, and he was like, "Yep, well, we're gonna give you the job then." Like, all right. So I got some stuff to do because of that next week. There's a camp now, a little like a 3rd through 6th grade camp that the old coach had scheduled for this first week of summer vacation. So that's tomorrow through Thursday. No big deal. It's just a couple hours in the morning with little kids. It's always kind of fun, actually, to do those little camps. And then after that, I'm pretty much don't have a whole lot I have to do. So I'm going to have time to catch up on some shows, have time to go kayaking. I've got time to play video games with my son, which we did today. We played Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, which was actually, it was pretty fun. And we played that today, and then I just kind of took it easy. Yesterday was kind of a celebration. My niece graduated from high school, so we went to her graduation party and had a good time. Met a bunch of either former graduates that I taught before or coached before, then some current ones, that are just graduated this year. And it was kind of nice to see them, moving on. A little bittersweet because I've known my niece, since she was so little, and now she's a graduate, and it's like, man, time's been flying.
Yeah, what the
Getting
fuck?
old as fuck.
Everybody's getting old. So I've got summer break coming up with, I think we're going not this weekend, but the following weekend. There's Comic-Con in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm going to be going to that. My son has been talking about it nonstop for the last couple months. I don't think he quite understands that there's a lot of waiting in line and things like that. He just thinks of all the people dressed up like superheroes and stuff. So he wants to be there.
And tits.
Yeah. So I'm sure that's why he wants to go. So we got that coming up. And then the week after that, I'll be flying to visit you guys in Michigan. And then a couple weeks after that trip, I'll be flying to LA. And then I'll be going to Maui the week after that. And,
By the way,
yeah.
when you are here, you officially have another choice for a bed. You can either choose the couch or the 6-foot memory foam beanbag chair that I just bought that will be here on Wednesday. Yeah. Apparently, this thing takes 2 weeks to officially flip up. I'll let you make the choice. You might have to fight bourbon for it, but it will be here and ready if you want it.
Okay. We'll see what's more comfortable, and then I'll fight him after that. I'll figure it out.
Bring a UV light.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Let me check this first.
You're only going to have one choice of where to sleep, your rental car.
Listen, you bring a UV light, you won't even be able to make it in the front door because that porch is sodomized.
Nice. Let's see. Gaming wise, I'm still playing God of War. I've really been trying to take my time with that game because it is a masterpiece type game in my opinion. So I'm in no hurry to make it all the way through. I know I'll be sad, I think, when that game's over. So those are the kind of games where play it a few hours a week here and there. I'm not in a big rush. I've got that Everybody's Golf has been addicting, that golf game, that Hot Shots Golf sequel. I started getting into my retro stuff more and more. And so I started this thing. I made a list of all these classic games on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo I want to beat. And I started that this last week. I played Ninja Gaiden on the NES. And let me just say, it raped my butt a few times, man, that game. That game is unmerciful.
All those old classic games are fucking difficult.
Yes. That one's really hard, but I'm working on it. And I also played I even played some Battletoads. Oh my gosh, that game. That speeder bike level. If you don't use a save state, you're just gonna have to go back to the beginning all the damn time. It's stupid.
That's just it. Like that's the part about those older systems. If there wasn't a save, you were fucked.
Yep.
Mhm.
The fact
Yeah,
that you could
have to
save
start over and over and over and over. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saved on Super Nintendo and on the original brick fucking Game Boy. I was just like blown the fuck away that this was even possible after playing for so many years with an NES and just fucking back to the beginning, back to the fucking beginning, back to the beginning.
Yep. I'm gonna be starting the. I also that got me into this game called Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, which is it's made in the retro style. It's kind of like a spiritual successor to Castlevania 3.
Ooh.
And apparently it's just a small dose of it was a kickstarted game that's going to be the full version's coming out like in the fall, I think, but this was free for backers and $10 for everyone else. But it's multi-platform. I got it for the Switch because I thought it'd be the perfect game to kind of have on the Switch. What, you don't think so?
No, I thought you spoke like it was a bad decision. You were about to explain why.
Oh, no, it's great. It's fantastic.
Okay.
No. I'm glad that I have like another Castlevania type game to play on this. It's a perfect mobile game. And then I also bought Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition that has, I think there's like 12 games in it, 12 or 15. They're all these different iterations of Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3.
Okay.
And Street Fighter Alpha series. They're all on there. And I got that for the Switch. Although I will say it is hard to use. It's just hard to use a controller, period. The Switch controller is not exactly conducive for high accuracy at a fighting game.
Yeah.
You know, so even though I'm enjoying playing the game, it's frustrating sometimes when I'm trying to pull a move off and like I did it wrong because I'm using this little controller instead of a fight pad or fight stick. And I may end up purchasing it again for Steam if enough people get it, just because it's actually a really fun game. And I have an old 360 fight stick that I could use on my computer and could actually use a fight stick again playing Street Fighter, which would be nice.
You just reminded me, I think Mario Tennis Aces comes out the day that you get here.
Ooh.
See, I played the demo and I was terrible. I downloaded the demo and I was like, man, the presentation is super slick and everything else, but I was bad. Like I tried playing it. I'm not very good at tennis apparently.
We can all be bad together because we'll have it ready to go when you guys get here.
Okay. I will be willing to. That's probably not going to be a purchase for me. I want to play it with somebody else or watch some other people play it too before I decide if that's going to be a game I end up getting. But
okay.
I know you guys said you've played like the older versions. You liked them a lot. So.
Oh, dude, I played so much Mario Tennis. Doing the exhibitions where you would play through a tournament. I remember being very exhilarated playing those. It was always extremely rewarding.
Mm-mm.
And if there's online with people, oh shit, game over.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about the Switch, man. I'm excited and got a lot of good stuff that's obviously been going on with me lately. It has been nice just to slow down a little bit now that school's out and catch your breath a little bit, and be able to enjoy some days off. So I'm excited. But that's pretty much it for me.
Non-gaming wise for me, I've actually been taking it pretty easy these days. Work's been extremely fucking busy, so days that whenever I get off work, I'm usually at home, not doing too much. But lately, during the nicer weather, I've actually been just going out for a casual bike ride here and there, just in and around the neighborhood and whatnot. Just getting on my bike in the summer while I can, because our summers are like 3 months long. So got to do it while I can.
Have you accustomed your ass to the bike seat yet, or is it still?
Nope.
Isn't that the worst part of riding bikes every summer?
I will show you if I keep remembering. I keep trying to remind myself to get a new bike seat, but I always forget to do it. But if you when you guys show up, if I still have mine, I'll show you mine. Mine's a brick. This thing is super fucking uncomfortable.
They say that the harder your bike seat, the faster that you will get used to using it. Like, they say if you have a really soft and comfortable bike seat, you don't really put the strain on that ass like you should.
That ass.
But man, it usually takes me a good month of bike riding for my ass to not hurt after an hour.
I can tolerate mine. Like I can ride on it. It's just that like the day after.
Yeah.
Where I get that. If I like squeeze my ass together, it's just like
people at work started asking questions.
Yeah, I'll sit there. I'll sit there in the work truck driving like this because I don't want to sit on my ass properly.
42, why aren't you sitting straight? No reason, man.
Had a good weekend. And since I've been getting out on the bike, I've actually just been ever since my snowboard trip, I've been trying to like get a better idea of how to use my GoPro for more stuff. So I've just been taking my GoPro out and just recording a bunch of bike riding footage. None of it's very exciting stuff. It's usually just riding, and then sitting there and hearing and then drinking water. Little breaks here and there, but I've just been screwing around with the video on the GoPro, just trying to get a better idea for how the video settings on those things work, and because they're actually not as simple as I thought they were. I thought it was just a little camera you just throw on something and you can hit record. But if you actually pay attention to them and you go through the settings and everything, there's insane stuff you can do with it.
One of the coolest features on the GoPro is their time-lapse video feature, where you can say, okay, I want a time lapse. I want you to take a picture every quarter second, half second, 1 second, 2, 3, and then it's all pictures, but because of the speed and the consistency of the photos, it makes it look like a video, and it just makes the smoothest time lapses ever. It does a really good job.
Yeah. So I've just been doing that. Just yesterday, I actually went out golfing. Kind of for the first time this summer out here anyway. I went golfing in Los Angeles when I went out there for vacation, but did some golfing out here yesterday as well, and got my farmer's tan nice and got that thing going nice and Salty knows it's going pretty good, especially with working outside too. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've been doing non-gaming wise. Gaming wise, still playing tons of Hearthstone. Played some of the new Sea of Thieves expansion that came out, or expansion. I don't know if it's an expansion, more so just DLC, but
content update.
Yeah. Should have been there when they released patch.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're late, patch.
Yeah.
Dude, we haven't really played much Sea of Thieves in like the last few weeks just because of other games coming out. But we hopped on the Sea of Thieves. Me and Kalnohe hopped on Sea of Thieves to play that and like fuck around with the new content. And it just brought me back to how good that game is for PvP and just like the interactions you can get into. Because like you have like your boat and then you can see other boats coming at you from a distance. And it's all about like body language. Like you just see a boat coming at you and it's like, oh, they're turning. They put their sail down. Oh, okay, no, they're turning away. They're turning back. Hey, we gotta go. They're turning back. It's like you just like go through this brain game of just like over analyzing what other boats are doing. And this fucking one boat, when we sat there and we were playing for like 4 hours the one day on the new content, and this one fucking boat would not leave us alone. And all they were trying to do was just trying to sink us. We didn't have anything on us. We didn't do anything to them except they came at us first. And then we eventually came back to where they were. And we were trying to get the content stuff through. Like we were just trying to work our way through the content. And they just kept following us. And we were just like, every time they would get close to sinking us, we'd just be like, guys, we don't have anything on us. You're sinking us for no reason. You're just literally wasting your time. Like, yeah, you're wasting our time too. Maybe that's what you're trying to do. But it's just the PvP in that game is so entertaining but interesting at the same time.
Would you recommend it for $60 still after this update? No.
Yes, if you have 3 other people who will pay $60 for it. If you can get 3 other friends who you enjoy playing the game with, they'll play for hours and like have fun with it without you know, if you can play it with 3 friends that you can just have fun with no matter what game you're playing it with, then yes. But just by itself, no. There's no point. Especially with the new content, you actually need 5 people total to actually get to like the final piece of the new content, which means you actually have to make friends with randos unless you find your friends in the same server.
Okay.
That's what I've heard anyway. I could be wrong on that, but that's from what I've heard and seen on other streams.
That's kind of shitty.
Yeah, because that's the thing. After we had these guys chasing us for hours on end just to sync us and had nothing to do with the new content, we were like, how the fuck are we ever supposed to find people to help us do this stuff if everyone just comes up to us and starts syncing us?
Right.
Because we were in the area. Like, we were trying to talk to them over VoIP, and they just didn't give a shit.
It's just Altus life all over, but with pirates.
Yeah.
Is it just you and Kalnohe that's shipping up usually?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Usually, sometimes his girlfriend will come join us, and he's got another friend that lives in my city here that will join us occasionally, but he's got a pretty busy family life, so he only hops on when he can.
Okay.
But so the other thing they added too with Sea of Thieves is they actually finally added the ability to change. So you can change like the color and like you can put like different stuff on your sails.
Yeah.
You get like different color sails and like stuff you can put on your sail. But like they actually have like there's a little flag that flies above your sail, and it's always been a white flag since the game came out, but now they've actually finally made it so you can change that flag. And the idea behind it was that they were supposed to make it so that you could change that flag based on what your status is. That's what they kind of like made it for, is that like, you know, if you put like there's a certain flag for the new content, so if you fly that flag, it's supposed to tell other ships that pass you, hey, I'm trying to do this content, you know, if you want to partner up, you can. And that's kind of where, when we were watching that boat that was pissing us off, when we saw them coming towards us, they had the Jolly Roger, like the skull and crossbones going. So I saw that from a mile away, and I was like, oh fuck, they got skull and crossbones. So I was like, I don't think they're doing the content. And then they started pissing us off. So
Friendlies in Cherno.
And that way too, nobody will misassume your gender, because you can just throw the flag up, whatever you are, and no one will ever get confused.
Doesn't matter what color. But yeah, so we were screwing around with that game for a while. Also, me and Kalnohe bought. Well, he actually convinced me to buy State of Decay 2. I didn't play State of Decay 1 at all. I like pretty much never even looked at it. But he convinced me to get State of Decay 2 to play with him. I'm actually having a shit ton of fun with that game.
You're liking it?
Yeah, it's really fun. And the way that he was talking about it before I bought it, I thought it was going to be one of those AAA games that I end up paying like $80 for and then play it a couple times and then forget about it. But for me, it was $40. So I don't know what it is in the US, but it was
Probably
$40
30
for me. And I've had more than enough fun with it to justify the price on it. It's pretty fun because you basically just like have a community that's like obviously during a zombie apocalypse era, and you got to keep your community alive. And it's one of those things where you take out, like, you actually man one of your characters in your community, and you have to take them out and like do quests and find survive, you know, zombie apocalypse. So you're out looting buildings, doing all that stuff. But if your character dies, that character's dead for good, and they can't come back. So you have to kind of like really manage your characters. If your character stays out too long, they can get tired. So like their attacks become slower and they can't run nearly as fast. So you like really have to watch what you're doing in the game. There's a lot of like micromanaging, which I've been finding lately has been the kind of games that I've been veering towards, is the very micromanagey games like Darkest Dungeon, Civilization.
Yeah.
Like
He's stressed out.
Yes, and this game is just as stressful. Kalnohe went and got one of my guys killed. we were driving and driving the vehicle. We hit a rough patch. He told me he's like get out of the car, and then we got out of the vehicle right in front of this fucking gigantic Arnold Schwarzenegger zombie, and he just literally took my character, ripped him apart, and that was that for that guy.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, well, that was good. That was the last of that guy I'm ever gonna see again. But it's really fun. It works really good for a co-op game. Me and him have been playing a bunch of it, so been really enjoying that. Other than that, playing a bunch of Overwatch. Me and Calnohe and a couple other local friends will play a bunch of that in our downtime as well, just for something to do.
Still playing the over stuff.
I really enjoy it. They actually just recently had a competitive variant of free for all, so like eight person.
Okay.
Eight person free for all, which you wouldn't think would work in a game like that, considering you're picking a hero that usually is like, it's like a rock paper scissors game where like one hero can beat this one, the other one can beat that one. And the free for all does kind of have that in a sense too. Like sometimes if some people pick a certain hero in free for all, they can just dominate depending on what everyone else is. But at the same time, you can switch at any time, so it's kind of a toss up. But sometimes I like to just play a certain character in it and just see how far I can get. So I was doing a bunch of that, and then we'll occasionally play it some evenings and just casually drink and hang out and play it. And then other than that, just been doing a bunch of VR games since everybody and their dog is getting a VR headset nowadays.
Yeah.
So we've just been Vans Man just got VR and Knackers just got VR, so I've been hopping on and playing some VR games with those two, but I'll let you talk about.
Vans was like, put up an Instagram thing like, hey, should I get VR now or later? And then the next day he's like, okay, I bought it. What the hell?
I know. I know for the longest time I remember you saying you were gonna get it, and that was like such a build up, and then hit.
Yep.
It was like a month ago. I had no idea Vance was gonna get one.
So crazy. And I technically got mine earlier than I thought I was, because A, that sale on Office Depot came around, and B, I had to forcibly sell some of my belongings to a friend, and I mean that was just extra money in my pocket. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what, like, there's good games out for VR for playing with a bunch of friends, but not a lot of games obviously. But I'm excited to see what other games come out, because even just playing Rec Room, like some of the best fun I've had playing with friends. It's just like, it's super weird being able to like play a game with your friends and like hear their voice, but also see all their body reactions to everything
And see what
like,
they're doing.
There was one point when I was playing with you the other day when it was just the two of us, where I said something and I didn't even hear you do anything, but I saw you keel over and I knew you were laughing right away. So it just made it even more funnier, because I just didn't hear you laugh, but I saw your character just like bend over. I was like, yeah.
We were playing some laser tag shit last night, and Vans was looking the other direction, and he turned around, and I shot him right in the face, and friendly player was on, and he went, ah, and his character fell to the floor, and I heard his controllers like fly. And he's like, it's making all these noises, and it was so fucking funny, man. Yeah, I probably spent an hour in the Rec Room home base just fucking around with the create gun and changing how I looked. Dancing in front of the mirror is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I know, it seems like such small stupid things that you would never think is fun. Like even like yesterday, when you were getting set up to play with me, I was in that Rec Room thing with like the little punching doll, and I just sat there and I was just like punching it in the face, and I was like, this is so satisfying, just like the little slapping noise it's making.
Yep.
This is just so good.
I was setting up the water bottle on different places and trying to throw the dart and hit the water bottle.
Yeah.
Run back, grab the dart.
Same thing with like, if I do it sometimes in real life too, if I actually have like a decent rubber ball. But like one of my favorite things is just like throw a rubber ball against the wall and just like try to keep my head still and just catch it out of my peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of those things that I enjoy doing. And I can do that with VR now, because I can just take the basketball in the room and just like throw it up against the wall and then try and catch it with the VR controller. Awesome.
is dope.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. First and foremost, I turned that command off. My bad. First and foremost, I wanted to throw a link out here to you guys. So one of my mods, G for Greg, one of the unluckiest guys I've ever met as far as like health and car trouble and just general bullshit in his life, has come on some hard times, and he's looking for a little bit of help. He got slammed with some hospital bills. So if you guys are able and willing, click that link in chat, give it a look, throw some money his way if you can. If you can't, feel free to share it out and see if there's anybody else willing. Greg has been a mod for the channel for a very, very long time. He's been a good friend of mine for a super long time. So I would greatly appreciate anybody that takes the time to check out the link and possibly make something happen. As far as I've actually had a pretty packed 2 weeks. I didn't have a podcast last Sunday because the guests I was supposed to have on, their internet went out like hours before the podcast, so we had to cancel. So I've got the past 2 weeks to reflect on. Been recording some content for YouTube for the document series. We did some craft streams, so I built a couple pairs of LED glasses for a community member named Zook. And then I also did a very scary breakdown. So right now I'm currently using a camera from a company called Sub2R, and it's a $1,300 4K camera. And they've been sending me lenses to try out with the camera. I'm actually using a different lens now. It's more so of a wide angle. And in order to use a new lens that they sent, I had to break down the entire camera, drill holes through the camera sensor logic board, and then mount a new camera frame on it. And it was absolutely terrifying. They had faith that I would do it fine, but very terrifying. So broke down this camera, installed a new lens bracket on it so that I could use some new lenses, and it's been fucking awesome ever since. And other than that, not gaming, I met up with Sonder, somebody that I've known for quite some time. He's a member of the community. I've gamed with him, off stream and stuff like that. And he is a lighting engineer he basically gets hired on as a lighting person for people that tour and do music shows. So right now he's on tour with Khaled, and he designed the lighting setup and goes to the show, sets up the lights, programs everything, does the show, they break it down, and then they're on the road next day. So they just do that. He's been on tour for like 4 weeks, and he'll be on tour for another 2 weeks, and then he has 2 weeks off, and then he goes back on tour. And so he hooked it up. He got us some backstage passes to Khaled. So we got there, met with them, had some drinks. He showed us backstage, showed us a tour bus, just kind of showed us around the production, and we got to hang out after the show to kind of see what went down. And holy shit, the manpower needed to set up and break down those shows. There was probably 40 or 50 people breaking down the entire set after the show was over. It was crazy.
My cousin used to, up until 3 years ago, well, now he can't do it at all because it's shut the fuck down, but he was the lead audio visual tech for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
That's right, the circus stuff that shut down.
Yeah. So he did that for like 10 years. And he used to do the same thing when they'd come to Verizon Center or Capital One Arena, or whatever the fuck it's called now in DC. We'd get to go backstage and do that kind of shit too. And the amount, I mean, they had hundreds of fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
They had entire 18-wheelers devoted to nothing but fucking cables.
Yep.
Like, they load their shit directly onto freight cars and a train, and they just go.
Yeah.
So
insane. Yeah, they had 4 18-wheelers just for 2 artists and their lighting setup. Just absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy the amount of work that goes into that. And then to have to, like, it's one thing if you just set up, do a show, and that's it. But you're like doing that repetitively every day for fucking months.
Yep. You set up. He said they start setting up at 8 a.m. and then they're usually done around maybe 5 with the show going on a couple hours later. monitor the show to make sure everything's good, break it down immediately after, and then they're on the road by 1 a.m. onto the next place, and then you start at 8 a.m. again the next day, and you just go.
Fuck.
Crazy life. But it was awesome to see Sonder in his element. It was awesome to meet him. The crazy story is me and 42 were playing Rainbow Six Siege, and we played with this guy who was hilarious and bombed, the Siege, I want to say hero, we'll just go with that, operator, who plants the charge on the wall and then it spider shoots grenades into the room. He did that where the hostage was and ended up killing 3 of the enemies.
That was him?
That was Sonder's friend. Oh. Story ruined. 42, get the fuck out of here. God damn it, man.
I got really excited.
So he bombed the hostage room, killed 3 people, killed the last dude, clutched the round. It was hilarious. So we kind of met up on social media, and then we played H1Z1. Weenie and I played H1Z1 with that guy, and then that guy brought on Sinister as the 4th player of the squad, and then that's how we met Sonder. And that was years ago now, and then I just fucking met Sonder in my home state, working, and we hung out for the day. So it's just experiences like that are why I fucking love Twitch and just online communities in general, because of the people that I met and like the friends that I have now because of this platform. Is just, even though I've been doing this for a decade, like I've been meeting up with people on the internet for a decade, it never ceases to amaze me. And I'm always surprised when I meet somebody new that's fucking awesome. And I'm just always amazed at the opportunities that we have that no other generation has had because of the internet. It's crazy.
Yeah, well said.
So that was pretty much it for non-gaming. As far as gaming, the HTC Vive has arrived at the Knackers household. And holy shit, it is physically taxing as it is fun. I played and we probably played for what, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 42, before you went golfing. And then I played with Speed and Mr. Vansman for about 2 hours. And after going to the show and being on my feet for like a couple hours, if I'm constantly moving around all day, my lower back is fine. If I'm standing in one position for a while, my lower back fucking kills me. And after the second hour of VR yesterday, I had to stop, not because of the motion sickness or because of the exhaustion, but my lower back was just hurting so bad from standing. And I don't know what to do about that. Like, is that just going to be a problem for the rest of my life? Or do I need to get Dr. Scholl's? Or, like, what the fuck do I do if I just have pain from standing?
Your living room that you're playing in has pretty thin carpet, hey?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can drop a bow and hit the plywood underneath.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, you might want to just consider getting some, like, foam padding or something to put down, or some kind of impact padding or something that you can put down while you're playing, just so it's a little bit better on your...
Maybe get some VR shoes, some Dr. Scholl's VR shoes.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have some sort of fucking shoe that's better on hard surfaces.
I would, like, if any, like, really, what you're basically doing, like, if you had a stand-up desk.
Right?
It's the same thing, really.
I definitely don't think I could have a stand-up desk because I can't stand in one position. Even if I'm like shifting my weight and rocking back and forth, my lower back always just ends up killing me. And it's why I can't go to shows anymore, because I stand in the crowd for an hour and then I'm in pain almost immediately. And I'm guessing there's somebody in chat that's making fun of my old manness based on your giggles. I'm not going to look at it because I'm not a part of this system, motherfucker. Is it Weenie? God damn it! Yeah, I need to do something. I either need to get shoes that support my back better or something.
I'm sure it'll probably get better with time too.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is true.
You're going to be
That's
playing
always what happens. It just gets better with time. That's how the body works, you know. It'll just get better. You know what I say? I say you go ahead and invest in a cane. A nice one.
I'm just gonna super glue the Vive controllers to canes. So if I'm using them, I have to support weight.
You need like a jumper, like how babies have jumpers. You need like a VR jumper
where your legs dangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't Weenie making fun of me. I was incorrect. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a new chair for this office pretty soon, and one that's actually made for sitting in for 5-6 hours straight. So I'm gonna wait to see what happens after I get a chair, but I might consider getting. Maybe I'll just put on my running shoes when I do VR shit, because those have like crazy arch support, and they're lightweight. In case my feet get sweaty from all my moving around. So I don't know. I gotta figure something out. So yeah, VR. Got the VR all set up. The highlight of my year so far in both gaming and streaming is completing Getting Over It, because if I probably would have quit streaming if I would have gotten defeated by that game. I don't think I ever could have returned to gaming or streaming if I would have not have beaten that goddamn game. I got so focused that I turned my lights off of their normal setting. I turned off all of my monitors except for my main monitor just to complete the end of that game. It took everything in me to beat that. I
turned off chat, turned off fucking everything.
I had to, dude. I fucking had to, or else I would have lost my mind. So Getting Over It between two streams, it took me an 8-hour stream and a 4 or 3.5 hour stream. It took me about 11.5 hours total. So I thought that once I, prevailed over this game, that would be it, until I closed the game and then saw a message that says, "You have been gifted Golfing Over It by Filer." So Golfing Over It stream is probably in the works sometime soon. I rage quit Jack 2. I might go back to it. It's just so dated. It's such a dated game. The controls fucking suck. The game is made to make you rage. It's actually quite difficult. Like, older games are hard. If a person were to go back and play Super Mario 1 for the first time, it's fucking difficult. The later worlds are quite hard. And again, like we were talking about earlier, if you die, you go back to the beginning of the world and you have to do all those levels over again. I don't think there's any... If you turn Super Mario 1 off, you start at the beginning, correct? There's no save? Okay. Gotta beat in one go. So that can be hard. So Jack 2 was triggering me a little bit. Not only were the controls the ones that were programmed into the game janky, but using a PS4 controller wirelessly for a PS2 ported game was also proving to be quite shitty. Just not a great experience. So I might go back to it. Not really sure. I've been playing some Battlefield 4 lately. Myself, Weenie, 42, and Kelno have been playing Deep Rock Galactic. We're done playing it now. But if you guys are looking for like a party game to play with friends that is co-op and survival and just an all-around good time, I would recommend Deep Rock Galactic. It's $20, and we probably got 20 hours out of it. I know 42, you were saying the last stream that you were pretty bored of it.
It's not necessarily that I was bored of it. It was just it is tough if you've, I guess, yeah, for the amount of time we did play it, it was getting kind of repetitive. But the nice thing about it is that like every map or every level that you go into is, if it wasn't procedurally generated, like I was just about to say, then it would have gotten boring so long ago.
Right.
But because it's procedurally generated maps, it makes it nice, because every map you go into, even though the terrain and like the general threat of some of the stuff that's in the map stays the same, the overall layout and like you don't know which direction you're gonna have to go to find stuff. So
yeah, I would encourage anyone to buy it now while it's in early access and it's cheap, and then just don't play it and just wait until the full game comes out with a bunch of new content. It's very grindy. In order to get upgrades in the game, you have to play a lot. And but regardless of that, it was super fun. We got 16 hours of gameplay out of it for $19.99 or $18, I think. And so I would recommend it just to get it, even if you were just going to save it until the full game comes out. And as far as played, last but not least, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. I was not in the best mindset when I first played the game, so I wasn't exactly starstruck by the game itself. I'm going to be returning to it on Tuesday, so I'll have more of an accurate summary once I play it. As far as games that got gifted to me, I got Golfing Over It by Filer. I'll most likely be playing that on stream sometime soon. And I got gifted Doom by Arctic Donkeys, and that's going to be played on stream as well. I'm super excited to play that game. I know that the soundtrack is on point. The game itself, just performance-wise, is just smooth as butter. The campaign's awesome, and the gunplay and the gore and all that stuff is on point, so I'm excited to play it. I bought Pavlov for VR. I bought actually that's it. No, Pavlov, and then I got Assassin's Creed Black Flag because it was on sale for $6. And everyone who told me to play an Assassin's Creed game told me that Black Flag was their favorite. So I'm gonna jump on that one to give it a shot.
It's the only game I've ever finished in Assassin's Creed.
Really?
It's more like a pirate game than it is an Assassin's Creed game.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, you guys want to shoot the shit super quick while I go pee-piss?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Do it. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Have either of you guys played Doom?
I have not.
I tried playing it. It made me motion sick.
It's got really high FPS.
Yeah.
Like, even I was gonna say when he was saying the performance was really good on it. If you have even a half decent PC, you can run that thing at like 500 FPS, and it looks really nice.
Man. Yeah, it just I guess games. I've got these console plebe eyes that are only used to like 30 to 60 frames per second. Anything beyond that, man.
Yeah, you don't have
It melts
do you have a 120 hertz monitor or 144 hertz monitor?
Mm-mm. No, all my monitors are 60 hertz monitors.
You got that big ass fucking PC,
Mm-hmm.
brand spanking new, all the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get a damn monitor.
You need a 144.
Just one.
Yeah, I will probably invest in a one, and they're not that expensive either.
No, and they're going down every day.
Yeah, so I will more than likely one of these Acer 27-inch monitors I have up right now will probably end up becoming for a spot for my new.
I didn't think it was going to be as game changing as people said it was, and then I got one. I actually bought two originally because for some reason I thought that was a good idea, and then I realized that I actually only game on one monitor, so 144 hertz didn't really even matter on the second monitor. But having 144 hertz is something that's it definitely doesn't seem like it's a game changer, but it is.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I do have a 4K monitor now though, so I can play some stuff in 4K that looks pretty damn good.
That's also a game changer for sure.
Yeah, like I booted up like XCOM 2 and Civilization 6 and a couple others just to kind of see if I can tell a difference, and it looks good, man. Yeah.
Can you still maintain 60 frames with those games?
They're not really those are strategy games anyway, so I mean they're not like high motion games.
Okay.
Know? I doubt that that's even the normal what they play at. It might be 60, but I don't know. I'm not. I have to look at the specifications if it will or not.
Okay.
I think it will, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's gonna be my holdback until I'm not going to be switching to 4K gaming until 4K at 120 frames per second is common.
Yeah.
Because I won't for playing games, I won't sacrifice resolution for frame rate. For watching content though, like when we've watched 4K content on the Apple TV and the 4K TV in the living room, it's like, holy fuck, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like I would love to play Rocket League in 4K.
Yeah.
But I I have to have the 120 frames per second for that shit. I can't have anything less.
No, it makes sense. So, but yeah, we were just shooting the shit about monitors.
Word. Are you thinking about going to a high refresh rate monitor soon? Because the 4K is not your primary, right?
The 4K is my primary monitor.
It is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I may. I don't know. I mean, they're not that expensive though. I mean, you can find a pretty decent monitor that's 1080p, but it's, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll go somewhere in the middle. Maybe I'll get like one of the, what are they? The 1440.
144 hertz. Yeah.
Yeah, they have those, right?
Yep. And that's like a good
2670 by 1440 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's a good medium, but that's still, I think the GPUs, as far as the 1080s are concerned, still have a little catching up to do because you need a fuck ton of GPU power in order to push any modern game at 1440p.
Fucking ask
even
Vans
60
about that shit.
Right? Yeah.
He's got one of those ultra wides, and that thing, it would just. I mean, given he was using one of my totally emaciated fucking 770s until he bought his new 1080, but that fucking thing would just chug like fuck no matter what you played.
I played Overwatch at 1440p at 120 frames per second, and it was like anything. Wasn't like anything I'd ever seen.
That was Battlefield. The first time I played Battlefield 4.
Okay.
When I got a new monitor, like I could set it to whatever refresh rate I wanted to in game, but I always had 60 hertz monitors. That was the game that changed it.
Yep.
When I could go like 150 frames per second and not get a ton of tearing and fucking terrible shit happening, it was amazing.
Once you see it, man, it's like this exists. This quality and speed exists. It's unreal. But the entry, the barrier to entry into 4K at 60 FPS is still way too fucking high. And for 1440p at 60 or even 120 frames per second, it's still pretty high. And good luck streaming, playing like on a single PC. Good luck streaming when you're trying to play at 100 or at 1440p, 120 and stream that because your GPU will just eat dirt.
Yeah.
But it looks, oh God, it looks good. All right, moving along to gaming news and discussion. During the week, if you guys would like to submit any gaming or streaming related news for us to suggest or for us to possibly discuss on the show, there is a hashtag news channel in the Knackers Discord. I forgot to collect the names of the people who collected or submitted news articles. So if you submitted news articles to the Discord in the past 2 weeks, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Just a couple, just so you knows, NVIDIA GTX 1180s are rumored to release next month. And just as a quick an asterisk, Battlefield 5 will be shipping for free with those GPUs when Battlefield 5 is out. So I think starting in October is when Battlefield 5 will be shipping free. So if you're not ready for a new GPU right now, but you know you will be ready in the next 6 months and you want Battlefield, keep that in mind. Also, Star Citizen, what the fuck is going on? Where are you? What are you even doing? That's not really the highlight of this article. The highlight of the article is this title. New Star Citizen ship pack unlocks nearly every vessel in the game for $27,000.
Notice nearly. Not every.
Nearly.
Just nearly every. Yeah, I looked. I saw this come across my news feed, and Jesus, you have to spend $1,000 in their like item store or ship store or whatever to even to unlock this item.
To view it, to purchase it. What is going on? I
understand, because if you look into this game at all, you know how expensive some of these ships are.
Right.
And you know, if you're talking about $100 fucking $200 for a fucking ship, for just one ship, this pack is giving you 117 ships and a bunch of upgrade, like content shit, a bunch of extra stuff like upgrades, skins, and
But
BS
okay,
backgrounds. But
that's cool and all.
$27,000 into the game, you're a fucking idiot.
42, how many different cars in Rocket League have you mained?
4 or 5, maybe.
Okay, and that's in the last 2 years of Rocket League?
Yeah.
Who the fuck has time to fly 117 different ships? Nobody.
Somebody who has $27,000. That's who.
Who is this target market? I feel like, was it this movie that I mispronounced, Elysium? It's like this game is only for the 1,000 rich people that are getting sent to another planet where cancer does not exist. Like, this game is not going to be a game for normal class people.
No. I mean, the fact that A, it's crowdfunded entirely to begin with, and B, it's been around for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Close to 4 years, I think. In April, they just brought in character customization. So
Is this game? Yeah, like, are we ever going to be able to play this?
they
like,
already said at E3 last year that there's not a computer on the planet Earth that you'll be able to buy that you can play this game on. Where they're waiting for the technology to catch up.
Right.
That's why whenever they do and whenever they do trailers, you notice that they bring all their own shit on stage.
Yep. The supercomputer.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Google server just to play this game.
Yeah. You're gonna need a $30,000 fucking graphics package on your shit just to be able to do this.
I've lost all interest in the game. I don't keep up on any of the news. When it's released, I'll check it out. But anytime I hear Star Citizen, I just fucking roll my eyes like, oh, okay, yeah. Because this is something we're going to be playing this year.
By the time it releases, you're going to be able to fly your own fucking starship.
Exactly.
In real life.
Oh, fuck. 27 grand. So
for all the ships.
Cost of a shitty used BMW.
Right.
You can own 117 spaceships in a fake game that hasn't even released yet.
And that's the other thing is the fact that there is a price tag on these ships for you can't even do anything with them.
You can buy. It says in that same article that I posted the link for, they sold plots of virtual land for $100 a piece, and people bought them up.
It's space. There's unlimited amount of room. How can you charge?
And it's your space, like it's just their space that they made.
I don't get it. I mean, I remember talking about this game and being so stoked, like, holy shit. I feel like what they wanted the game to be 4 years ago, they were like, okay, this is the game we want. We want you to be able to pair up with your friends, explore space, kill each other. Okay, awesome. And then the hundreds of millions of dollars came in, and they're like, okay, let's build a game nobody's going to fucking understand, okay? Let's do this. Let's bring in a bunch of shit that people can't even contemplate happening, and then we'll release it in 10 years. It's like, they're like, oh, okay, well, now that we have all this resource, let's just make something impossible. I don't understand.
How do they keep enough money going right now to even fund making the game?
Right.
I don't know that there's that many people that work for them.
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would make
sense.
sense.
If you've raised, if it's 5 fucking guys who kickstarted a goddamn game and raised $300 million fucking dollars, you could keep it like 10 dudes and just veg on that 300 million, put half it in the fucking bank, get some interest, good to go.
Yep. Insane. All right, first news topic of the day. Bluehole is selling Epic Games for copyright infringement. Is suing a word?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I Googled it.
Only in the United States of America.
What are you suing?
We sue everybody.
What are you suing about? Yeah, I Googled it, and the first option, or the first link was not Webster, and it got me thinking, is suing a word? And I think everywhere else they just say has filed a lawsuit.
If you right-click in a Google Doc, you can define the word.
Holy fuck!
Whoa,
what?
The future.
Define.
What? Everyone clicks on.
I'm 100% a Google whore, so these are things.
I mean, I tell teachers at work all day. They ask me questions about Microsoft Office, and I say, I haven't used Microsoft Office in 4 years. I use Google Drive for all my needs, and you should too.
God, that fucking pisses me off at my work too.
Microsoft, yeah, it's like, there's only one staff member in all 100 plus staff members that absolutely requires Microsoft Outlook because they refuse, even though we have Google as an email provider, they want to use Outlook.
Gmail, not even like the shitty regular Gmail.
Yeah, no, we use Google Apps for all of our buildings, and they want it hooked up to Outlook. And every year I have to transfer this one person's fucking profile from one computer to the other, and they just won't budge. They refuse. So like I can't learn anything else. Like,
yeah, the only benefit to me is that my mom, mine and Van's mom, used to be she used to teach teachers how to use Office. That's what she would do. She taught computers at a school when Vans was a fucking child, like 4. And so she would teach 1st through 8th or 3rd through 8th grade computers, and then during the summer she worked for the counties in the area, like the school boards in the area, teaching teachers how to use computers.
You'd be surprised how bad a lot of teachers are with technology.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I'll be on the phone with teachers, and I'm like, all right, okay, so you're looking at your desktop? Yes. Okay, click the start button. What? The start button? The bottom left-hand corner? The blue circle? Yes! Click it! But I think I take for granted that it used to say start back in XP days, and then eventually just turns into, just a menu. But there's teachers that get hired that cannot use computers, and they're supposed to take attendance. They're supposed to do email, and they have no idea what's going on. And I mean, you can't blame them too much because I was lucky enough to grow up with this shit. It was a given, but it's the patience necessary to support a staff that doesn't know how to use computers can be quite difficult sometimes.
I honestly think that's the only reason I got the promotion at work. I tell those guys all the fucking time, I'm only here to keep the printers working and to fucking make coffee. Every time because we all, obviously you work in any male centric environment, especially a blue collar job, there's a lot of shit talking that happens like all day, every day. It's just us talking shit. So like, if I do anything, even if it's just shit that's to do my job, the guy on the other side of the desk is like a 35-year guy who's like 65 years old. He's like, oh man, fucking superstar over here. And I'm like, coffees and fucking printers, my friend. That's all I'm here for.
And I'm all out of coffee. So Bluehole suing Epic Games. Do you guys think that what's your thoughts? Do you guys have any grounds on this? Do you think they have any grounds on this? Sorry.
I'm not a lawyer. I really don't know much about copyright infringement. And I haven't researched this. I'm not exactly sure what they're suing for, but I remember reading an article recently too about it, and I just kind of skimmed the article. To me, it just sounds like sour grapes. I mean, almost like Fortnite made all this money and they're upset that they didn't make as much money. That is, and I'm sure there's more to it than that, but that was after reading the just kind of initial stuff about the article. I was like, they're just a bit pissed that they're not the #1 battle royale game. They're like, all right, we're going to start a lawsuit. Maybe we'll get some of that money that should have been ours anyway.
To the unaware, Battlegrounds is built on the Unreal Engine 4 or the Unreal Engine 4. That was created by Epic. So they licensed that game engine to build PUBG, and now they are suing.
Way before, like, PUBG was put out way before they released the Battlefield or the Battle Royale mod for the original Fortnite, which is a totally different game.
Mm-hmm. Free the world? Save the world?
Save the world.
Well, it's called Save the World now. It wasn't back then. It was just Fortnite.
Okay.
before they split it into 2 modes. And even when they split it in 2 modes, it was just fucking Fortnite and then Fortnite Battle Royale. So, I mean, as far as the basis for it, I have a big fucking problem with Bluehole and the way they worded this initial fucking litigation documents and shit, because it seems to me like they're not going after copyright infringement on the sense that, hey, you stole our game. It's like they're trying to make the claim that Battle Royale is their genre.
Yep.
Which is complete bullshit.
Mhm.
And for those also not in the know, the guy who is behind fucking PUBG, which is PlayerUnknown's, was the mod developer for H1Z1 King of the Kill. He was the fucking mod developer for Arma 3 Battle Royale. Like, all these games came from that one guy. And I could halfway understand if back in the day that was something that he tried to take ownership of. But if anybody has ownership of Battle Royale, it would have to go back to fucking Arma.
Right.
That was fucking 5 years ago he came out with that mod. So,
And you've abandoned, like, you don't work with
everything
Arma anymore.
you've ever done, you've abandoned eventually. PUBG was definitely his greatest achievement, but that's only because it's the only one he sold for money. The rest of them were free mods for other games. Well, King of the Kill costs money now, but it didn't originally if you had the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I definitely agree with Jimmy. I think it's just, we should be millionaires and we're not. Fuck you, man. Capitalism fucked you in the ass, buddy.
And he
Suck
didn't
one.
like it. What you think, 42? What you think?
Yeah, it's very convenient that, of course, Fortnite's the only game that they're going after with this, when, like, even on a VR sake, there's a game on Steam called Standalone VR, which very blatantly copies the font and a lot of stuff about PUBG in a VR Battle Royale game. I don't see them going after them, but that's because they're not making any money about it. Are
you talking about the game that came out on mobile first?
No. This one's
Okay.
this one's a separate one. It's a VR only.
Oh, okay.
But there's tons of there's mobile ones that do the same thing. But this is a VR one that somebody made where, like, the font that they use for the logo is very, very similar. Like, just everything about the game just seems very, like, you fly in a plane, you jump out on a parachute, land in an area, and there's all of a sudden there's a field that gets smaller and smaller on all the players. It's just everything
And there's
about
been ever since probably H1Z1, because Arma Battle Royale really wasn't that popular in the streamer sense. And I honestly think the popularity of these games is based solely on the backs of all the streamers. It's
100%.
reflected in the top 10 every fucking day on Twitch's fucking channel listings. And same thing with average concurrent players for each of these games. Every game that is in that top 5 on Twitch is going to have a shitload of concurrent players. Doesn't matter, other than IRL, because IRL is every fucking day. But you have a game that launched in February or March, did great, then totally shit the bed with performance. PUBG would still be retaining a lot of their original player base against Fortnite, especially those who shit on Fortnite initially because of the cartoon, how cartoony it was and how terrible the fucking bloom quality on your shots and blah, 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 blah. But PUBG dropped the fucking ball. They'd probably be 50-50 market share with them now if their game didn't run like a pile of shit.
It's still, I mean, you watch the majority of people play PUBG, everybody's got their graphics down low, and the game looks fucking terrible. I will take cartoony Fortnite graphics over that bullshit any day. Regardless of the play styles and whether or not they're... This is a conversation for a whole nother day, but I can't stand people who say you can't compare Fortnite and PUBG. I cannot stand you can't compare them. They're two totally different games argument.
I mean, the fact that Bluehole is suing them for what they're suing them for is an exact fucking
Right.
explanation
Right.
about why you
It
can.
is exactly the same shit.
They are two battle royale genre games built on the same engine with the same objective. How can you not compare them?
Right.
They are the fucking same game.
You can't compare World War One to World War II because they were two totally different wars, bro.
Guess what?
The fuck up.
There's good guys and bad guys. But yeah, PUBG still just looks absolutely terrible. It still it performs better now. You can push 60, 90, 120 frames, but the game looks like absolute shit. I'm actually curious about the concurrent player base here in the United States.
And even nowadays, like if you ask me if I wanted to play PUBG or Fortnite, I would rather play PUBG just because I like that realistic feel of it.
Right.
But just knowing the fact that the game runs like shit, like if PUBG ran really well on like the highest graphics and you could have like super realistic shadows, super realistic noises, I think it'd be awesome to play. But the fact that it runs like shit just makes it super aggravating to play.
Yep.
They've been decreasing in player base, but decreasing from 3 million to 2 million concurrent players. So still killing it. But they even announced in an official statement that they are very far behind as far as performance patches. Like how much time that game sucked to play, unacceptable for how much they were charging for that game and how many people were playing it.
And I think most of this lawsuit isn't really based on current shit. It's based on shit from when Fortnite first launched the Battle Royale. Because I'm reading further into it. It seems like the suit, quote, was filed because Epic Games distinctly stole, forgot the name of the fucking, now I lost my track in the fucking article. Like intellectual property,
Right.
In-game items, which I think is dumb.
Yeah. Like you
Are
weren't the person
comparing
who invented
shields to Red Bull, your fake Red Bull logo that you clearly stole from a company with trademarks? I don't know.
that. You weren't the first to invent player revives.
I'm really hoping
Either.
that the fucking judge takes one look at this and says, "This is a frivolous lawsuit. Go fuck yourself.
Mhm.
Everybody leave."
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hear much more about it.
In their official statement, they go as petty as saying they used our name in an advertisement. And like that's what they're fucking upset about. Yeah, I think there's probably they obviously feel they have enough grounds to file the lawsuit in the first place. So there's a lot that isn't visible to us as consumers, but we're still gonna shit on you a little bit if we want.
Well, and not to mention, this was filed in a South Korean court.
Yeah, in
Are we even
January.
are they even going to give a fuck about this over here?
Who knows?
I don't know what our international copyright laws are, but last I heard, they're pretty fucking shitty. So is Epic just going to be like, fuck one?
I wonder, does Steam charts only gather the amount of concurrent players in the US? Do you guys know?
No idea. I would think not.
Because I don't think it does, because I remember looking up concurrent player base for H1Z1, and Sandra was like, dude, that's only US. Because I think when H1Z1 was first dying, there was only a couple tens of thousands of people playing, but there was still 900,000 people playing H1 over in Asia. So, you know, I think that's one of the, I've been not a victim of this. I've been susceptible to thinking that games are dying because they aren't prominent in the streaming world. Like, I think if a game is not being streamed anymore, it's no longer popular. That's not always the case. That's just a bubble that I live in. So yeah, in my opinion, I'm kind of along the same lines as you guys. I think that when I say a better game, I just want to, it's not the game is better comparing the two, but I feel that their execution on the game was better compared to PUBG and compared to H1Z1, because obviously you guys see what H1Z1 is like right now, and that game is in shambles. But
I mean,
most
of that just came from the fact that they already had a game in place. I mean, Fortnite, the original Fortnite came out in July. PUBG came out in February before Fortnite. But they had a full game that all it did was just crush their engine.
right.
Like Fortnite, the original Fortnite Save the World now is a wave-based fort building, like a tower defense game. And if you play long into that fucking game, it just kills itself. Like the engine just kills itself because there's so many enemies in such a small area. And I mean, all they really had to do was make a map. The programming for those games ain't shit. Drop them off.
Right.
Randomly place shit everywhere, but put it in the exact same spot, just different weapons every time. Couple fucking lines of random number generator code, and you're fucking done.
Still forget that Fortnite was even a game before
Right.
the Battle Royale. Like,
I
played the regular game before the Battle Royale came out.
I remember seeing the trailer for it before it came out, and I was like, okay, that's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Cool.
And now it's like the biggest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, like if Ninja were to do a poll on his stream right now saying how many of you guys know that Save the World exists, I wonder what those results would be like.
It'd be low.
I just thought about this now. When we were talking about VR earlier, when you first got your VR kit, 42, were you 100% yes, I love this, I'm all about it, and I can't wait for more? Or were you still in the back of your head like, there's a chance that I might not like this or stick with it?
Like after I've played it for a little bit?
Like after you played it for the first time?
The first couple nights that I had it, because like right now I obviously have it set up in my gaming room here, but the first couple nights that I had it set up in my living room, so I had a lot more room. I moved all the couches back as far as I could, and I like gave myself maximum amount of space to use it, and I was like fucking head over heels for that thing.
Okay.
And I still am for the most part. There's tons of games that I play that I can't even.
I mean, it's sitting right behind you in your room. Still.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it on the ground right now?
Yeah. I have it ready all the time.
I really, really, really like it. I'm afraid that my back is going to make it a pain to play, but I'm going to try and, get addicted to Vicodin so that I can play it on, as often as I want. But there in the back of my head, there's still like, there's a chance you might not like this. Like, there's a chance that you might go a couple weeks and end up being like, I don't know if this is my preferred way to, not preferred way to game, but I don't know if this is like a way that I like to game. So I'm kind of scared of that. I had so much fun, and I can't wait to get back to it. But there's still that little thing in my head, like, you might not like this. But
you have to remember it's not going to be a primary way to consume your gaming. Like it's just not. Like, even for me, I put that thing on, I can only go like 3 hours until I'm like, okay, my face is fucking melting, I need to take a break because I can't handle any longer than that. But like I think personally within the next 5 to 10 years I won't have monitors anymore. I'm just gonna have a VR headset, and I can do all my computer stuff in the headset. And I'll just be sitting there, and I can just look around at monitors and do everything on there.
I keep trying to think of a way that you could be sitting at your computer with the VR headset and play a first-person shooter. Like, I don't know, because you can't have a VR headset and look around freely, but then aim with a crosshair. No. Unless the crosshair moved around on the screen independently from the way that you look. Or would it be... I don't know how that would work, but I have the thinking of the same people that think about Battle Royale. Like, they see a game like Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty should have a Battle Royale game. Whenever I think about any video games, I'm like, what if this game had a VR? And that's what goes through my head all the time now. But I got into it now because even though I might not 100% love it in this moment, I know that it's going to be huge. I know that there's going to be a next step. But so far, it's just been a really, really awesome experience. There's just been that tiny little thought in my head. I'm afraid that I'm gonna end up not liking it. I don't right now. It's not that I don't like it now, but that fear is just there. But so far, it's been fucking awesome. Okay, getting back to we're pretty much done talking about blue balls and epic gonorrhea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Battlefield 5. The release trailer and the premiere came out within the past 2 weeks. You guys have either seen it or you haven't. What were your first impressions? Will you be buying it? I have to ask if you're going to pre-order it, because if you say yes, find a new podcast, motherfucker. And chat, if you fucking pre-order this game, I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to make a promise to you. If I find out you pre-ordered this game, I'm going to ban you. I will fucking ban you. I will unban you in 7 days. But if I find out that you pre-ordered this game, I'm going to ban you. Addendum. If you pre-order this game a day before it releases so that you can get some in-game loot or in-game cosmetics, totally okay with that. Any earlier than that, I will fucking ban your ass. I will find your address and I will send you shit in the mail. Okay? That is my
Send you
goddamn
glitter
promise.
bombs and gummy dicks.
Yes.
Part of the problem.
Glitter bomb, except it's just going to be feces that explodes everywhere, not glitter.
Just Leroy's cat shit.
Just been saving it up. All right, first impressions. Are you buying it? Go.
I thought it was cool that I don't have a problem with them doing World War II era stuff. And it looks like they're going to be going to some places in World War II that have not been done in a video game yet. So that's cool. I think it's cool with the female protagonist, the Russian sniper, which I don't have a problem with either. I think it's cool. I thought it was kind of funny to me, the trolls that came out of the woodwork when they announced that. I was just like, holy smokes, man, people are stupid. They were getting all up in arms.
Dumb as fuck.
So stupid.
Oh my god. So I thought that was cool. I will probably reserve judgment on whether or not I'll purchase it until I've had a chance to watch it, and then also know, because I've never really gotten into multiplayer Battlefield. I've just played some of the Battlefield games for the campaign, which have been fun. So, but I mean, the real draw of these games is the multiplayer. So if the multiplayer ends up being really good, then I may end up purchasing it. But as of right now, I have no plans to. Not to say that people aren't going to enjoy it, but I think it'll kind of depend on how it reviews and the streams I watch of it, whether or not I get it.
Would you buy it just for the single player campaign if it wasn't for the, like, if multiplayer was out of the question?
If it's more than just a few hours, yeah. I mean, if it's only like a, less than 10-hour campaign, I don't know if that's really worth paying full premium price for a game for less than 10 hours.
According to the premiere, they are releasing the game in parts, like every couple months. Or I don't know if that's the campaign, but like the first couple months are going to be this part of World War II, and then the next couple months are going to be the next part, and it's going to be like a progressively released content that isn't paid for.
That's,
Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Keep
sorry,
going.
go ahead.
No, keep going. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna reserve judgment till after the game releases. They had some good talking points on their reveal for the game and all, but I've been burned too many times by AAA titles, and this one doesn't have any lightsabers in it, so they're not gonna be able to fool me.
Salty, 40 tits.
I'll probably get it, but I'm in the same boat as middle-aged, where I want to see gameplay first. Because right now, all we see is like a 4K fucking trailer of a bunch of orchestrated shit in a fake multiplayer game.
Right.
So I want to see what server performance is like. I want to see what the game modes end up being, because obviously they're bringing back a lot of the the big money stuff from the older versions that I liked. But if it runs like shit, I'm not going to buy it. I don't care about the single player. I never really gave a fuck about Battlefield single players. I couldn't tell you the last one I actually finished. Probably like 1942, like before they had the numbers attached. And if it's anything like Battlefield 3 and 4, I'll play it.
By the screenshots in the video, they did confirm that ticket-based Conquest was returning as a game mode. So that's a good sign.
Again, it still comes down to fucking performance.
Yep.
If it's laggy as fuck, I'm not going to play it.
Did Battlefield 1 have performance issues?
I have no idea. Nobody played it.
This is true. Chat, anybody that played Battlefield 1, how was performance? Let me know.
More people played in the fucking beta than 10 minutes after that fucking game launched.
I bought Battlefield 1 and I probably put 4 hours into it.
Oh, you bought it?
I did buy it, yeah.
Yeah, didn't you buy like the super duper pack of it? Like,
no, that was Battlefront 2.
Oh, okay.
2 or 1?
Battlefront 2, like the most recent Battlefront 2.
Oh, okay.
Wait, didn't you buy the collector's edition? No, it was Battlefront 1.
It was
the first one. Yeah.
I was about to say.
If it was the second one, you'd be out of your fucking mind.
Yeah. Okay.
No, because I remember Battlefront 1, the new Battlefront 1, came out the same time Rainbow Six Siege came out. And I was like, Rainbow Six Siege hasn't been a thing in forever. Battlefront will be so much better. And then everyone went and played Rainbow Six Siege, and I was sad. Very sad.
Chat, what about aside from the multiplayer, what did you guys think about the campaign of BF1? Because I've always thought about buying it on sale just in order to play the campaign. If it's good.
Okay.
It was all right.
It was nothing special. There were a couple of cool missions, but I mean, I
didn't like the whole format.
Yeah, the way it was cut up with different characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And different.
I like start, finish.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did that because they wanted to try and introduce you to like different game modes, basically. Like, they had the flying one and they tried to make a story of doing those little kind of vignettes of different people. But yeah, it was cluttered, clumsy, I would say.
All right. Good to know.
I was gonna say earlier too, if they actually do release bits of the campaign in like a weekly thing, because obviously like stuff like Telltale games, they do that stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that would be awesome.
Agreed.
Because to me it's like depending on how much you actually get in 1 week, it'd be really fun to like play through a crazy mission. It's like, whoa, then cliffhanger, and then it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next week? And then you gotta wait a week.
Show.
It's like a TV show type thing, but it's a video game.
But how many of those episodes do you get before you have to pay for them?
Yeah, and that's gonna be the tough part, right? It's like, what do you have to pay for versus what do you get versus how much content is in each episode?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if it was $10 a week, you're already gonna pay fucking $60-$70 for the fucking game to begin with. And if it's 5 hours of content every week for a month or whatever, that'd be good as shit. But if I know Battlefield and every Battlefield before it, the whole fucking campaign, same thing with Call of Duty, it's like 6.5 hours, you're fucking done.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
the way that I'm picturing it in my head, if the seasonal release of content isn't for the single player, I wonder if they'll do the first, I don't know actual timelines of World War II, but like the first 3 months you're playing Normandy maps, and then the next couple months you're playing the maps in the places that took place the next part of the war, and then like once the first part of the war season is done, you can't play those maps anymore, and then you go on to season 2 where you play the next phase of World War II. I think that would be awesome. And then once the World War is done, all of the maps are available. You can pick and choose which you want to play. I think that would create a level of exclusivity, which would, I think, motivate people to play the games, because that's what Fortnite is doing right now. these game modes that come out for a certain amount of time, and you either play them or you don't because they're gone, and then they're gone forever.
I heard they brought back Blitz too. By the way, I haven't played games.
I haven't. I haven't uninstalled Fortnite, but I haven't even launched the Epic Games launcher in, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I think. But I think that's an awesome business model. I am hopeful, but so incredibly skeptical, because how do they plan on releasing content, new content, every couple months without charging an extra fee? Are you really planning on cosmetics to keep your boat afloat financially in order to support all of that content that's going to come out over the next year or so? There's no word of any subscription fee. They're saying that there is no DLC, paid DLC. There's no premium pass. But there's going to be these seasonal releases of content, and there will be paid cosmetics. So,
well, I mean, they're going hard in the opposite direction of the last Battlefront.
yes.
They fucking lost hundreds of millions of dollars on 2 Battlefront games.
Mhm.
There's no fucking way they made anything close to a profit margin that looked like a typical EA game, period, on that last Battlefront. They got fucked. And it's all because of the greed of that entire fucking company.
Mm-hmm.
So then you see a game like Fortnite with a free-to-play aspect where the base game probably cost them $500,000 to throw together. There's nothing to it. There's more in animation than there is in programming. And you turn around and you sell skins for $5 a pop or $10 a pop. Some of those fucking skins and dances and shit are like 1,500 V-Bucks, which is $15 for one thing. And they sell like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah.
They've made hundreds of millions of dollars and probably didn't put a quarter of that into their fucking game itself.
Nope.
So that's why they can afford to make all these random ass game modes and bring them back for special events. And I can't wait until you can do private matches.
Yeah.
I think
Same.
Fortnite, custom matches, custom parameters, custom loot.
Be huge for streamers too. Like,
It'd
hey,
be big for communities of any kind.
yep. Agreed. If
I was
I
thinking
would if I knew that I was in a gaming community that had enough people to fill a Fortnite Battle Royale server, I'd play fucking Fortnite. Knowing that you're just playing with all the people that you know or are acquainted with, that'd be fucking dope.
I mean, that was Battlefield for us back in the day.
Right. Yep.
Be 20 fucking people on there. Everybody's pretty much in the same fucking TeamSpeak channels.
Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna mention too, with the whole seasonal release stuff with the Battlefield campaign, if that's how they go with it, you gotta think too that might tie into their trusting of content creation and stuff like that, right? Like you gotta think people are gonna be wanting to, if you're not gonna buy Battlefield 5 and play it yourself and do all that stuff, if you're just gonna watch and see how the game runs and all that stuff, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to their favorite streamers each month or whatever that this new content comes out to see how it plays out, see all that stuff. And that might be another reason why they're deciding to do it that way. It's good advertisement.
It seems like they are going in the right direction. If they would have done this with the last game and they were doing it again, I'd be like, oh, okay, they're just doing the same thing again. But their last release was such bullshit, and they fucked it up so bad. So I'm going to wait. I'll most likely buy it within the first week. I'm going to watch people stream it. If I like the gameplay, I'm going to give it a chance. But will not be pre-ordering. I wish that word would just get removed from human existence.
I'm probably still not going to buy it the first week.
No.
I'm not going to buy it until I see that it establishes an online multiplayer presence.
Okay.
Because that was really the only thing that fucking Star Wars had for it. And that's why I didn't end up buying it. Because like 2 weeks after the fucking game came out, you're sitting out there like fucking John Travolta wandering around in fucking Pulp Fiction.
All right. Next point. Oh, did I totally forgot to change the topic. Beep. Beep.
Oh well.
Oh, fuck! Next up, Mixer and Facebook poaching streamers. I'm just kidding. They're not poaching, but there are a lot of people.
They actually are.
That are leaving Twitch to go over to both Mixer and Facebook. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts so far. If you've seen any streamers that are making the move, if you've heard the reasoning, what do you think about the reasoning? And just your general thoughts. If you want to touch on if you would make the switch, if you've considered making the switch, that kind of thing.
I don't know. This isn't the first time I've heard about this week. I noticed there are a lot of Twitter posts about it that came up, but there was nothing that was any sort of hard, solid evidence aside from like anecdotal. A bunch of people are leaving without any real data or stats to back that up. So I don't really know what's a lot of people. I mean, I have no idea how it's more than anecdotal. But let's just say that there are, thousands of different streamers that are trying the other platform. I would say if you're just
That's Salty. Salty jerking off with his microphone.
If you're just starting out, like within your first year, I would say, why not? The thing is, though, once you become a Twitch affiliate, though, you can't stream at the same time to those other platforms because that's in your affiliate contract. So, you got to keep that in mind because, the truth is, I just have enough time for my streaming on Twitch. I wouldn't be able to have time to stream on another platform also, With that being said, too, I know a few people that I follow that have tested out Mixer. I personally it's not that I don't think Mixer can be a good platform, but I barely have enough time to do my own Twitch stuff and then watch the streamers I want to watch on Twitch, let alone start looking at an entire other platform, So that's my thing. Facebook, I don't even have a Facebook account, so I would definitely not go watch someone over on Facebook. That's just because I don't like Facebook. That's just my own opinion. So I don't know. I think if you were starting out, it's good. I think if you are been streaming for a while, it would be really something you would have to evaluate. And whether or not are you growing enough to where you feel happy? Do you feel like you might have better opportunities trying a different platform? I think that's only something that the individual could answer. For me personally, I think I'm just too invested in this platform, having done it for a while, and it would be weird for me to like try and start over on an entirely different streaming service. So no plans for me to go anywhere, but I totally understand why people would do it. And I guess if there was a streamer I really liked that went to that platform, like that I was watching regularly, there's a good chance I'd maybe check it out some more, but it's, there's no one that I watch regularly that has moved to that platform. Just a couple people that I know.
Okay.
So anyway, that's all I got.
I am never going to watch a soul on Mixer or Facebook. I don't have any fucking plans. I don't even know what fucking Mixer looks like. I just know that it's owned by fucking Microsoft and they can suck a fat nut. I hate them with every fucking piece of my being. So everything they own can suck a dick. As far as other streaming platforms, I mean, Facebook is dead to me. They do nothing but steal all your information and sell it to third-party companies nonstop, which, don't get me wrong, 99% of the shit I do involves that. But at least I know what they're doing with it. It's not Facebook where they're just legitimately selling it to foreign governments and crazy shit. So I don't like Facebook for a lot of reasons. That's just one of them. And we can throw YouTube Gaming in the mix on this too, because
Can we though?
They've been poaching people for years, but it's always the same shit. Google owns YouTube, Amazon owns Twitch, Facebook is God. Like, these motherfuckers are the biggest corporations in the United States of America, hands fucking down. Most of them are in the top 10 for the entire world.
I don't see YouTube gaming, live gaming, as a prominent platform. Like
But it's only because they were created as a not live platform first. That doesn't mean they're not getting views. They're getting views out the ass.
They're getting views, but I see a lot of Facebook streaming on Twitter, and other social media. I see a lot of Mixer on Twitter and Instagram. I don't see YouTube live shit at all
I just think
anywhere.
You have a more diverse feed than I do, because I don't see Mixer for shit. I know one person that streams on Mixer, and we both know him, and he's a great guy, but he got shit canned from Twitch for whatever reason. I've never watched him since. And that's not I'm not knocking people for streaming on another platform, but you have to fucking realize the only reason, and you could say whatever the fuck you want about UIs and this and that and whose dick's getting sucked. Twitch is made for streaming. If you want to be a streamer, you should be on Twitch. Mixer is a fucking last minute drop of a hat. We need to get something on the fucking floor before Twitch gets too big to where they're YouTube of streaming, which is exactly what they are. And all these fucking morons who think for a second that you're going to go on Mixer and make your fucking fame when you didn't make it on Twitch just because there's less fucking people to compete with. The only person you compete with on any of these platforms is your fucking self.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not interesting, if you're fucking lazy, if you don't want to put the time in, nobody's going to watch your shit. And at the end of the day, you might just be a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of people on YouTube and YouTube gaming that are fucking assholes. So if you are one of those people, feel free, sign up, youtubegaming.com, and stream your bullshit over there. Leave Twitch for the big boys and girls, and we'll go back to fucking enjoying our streams.
Well said. 40 twat, what you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Salty. I always consider, just see what Mixer's all about, but then I never do, because the time that I do have to watch streams, I'd rather watch something that I know I'm going to like, whereas if I go on Mixer, I'm going to sit there and search around on a website that I've never looked at, and I just don't ever feel like I have the time to do it. And unless I know somebody who I really, really fucking enjoy is on there, I probably will never go over to that website. So I don't really care whatsoever. I don't plan on ever trying to stream over there. I'd rather just stream on the website that people know about, and it's easier to get to. It's more well known. Salty pretty much covered everything I would think about it.
All right, you ready for this? Top live channel, partnered YouTube gamer, live, 6,500 viewers.
I mean, that's a lot.
Is that good or bad?
That's the top. That is
the
top
number
live
one
channel
top
on YouTube gaming.
Yeah.
And is that Ice Poseidon?
I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Oh,
I don't know who any of these fucking people are. This is the first time I've actually seen the homepage.
What did he say?
I don't know. He didn't say shit. Just
No.
hauled ass. Gotta go. You gotta go. Maybe he was squatting again.
Maybe.
Squatty Potty is coming in hard.
Squatty potty's under his desk. I don't know. I really have a problem with people claiming that the grass is always greener and all this shit.
Well, I mean, if you're just starting out, I don't see any harm in trying it out, because
There's no harm in it regardless, but
you're not
don't lie to
invested-
yourself.
Yeah, you're not invested into one particular service or the other, so why not try it out? Where I'm at now, though, I mean, there's little reason for me to try out a different streaming, platform and learn all its ins and outs. And I mean, yes, the streaming part is essentially the same, but different platforms have unique things about them and whatnot. So,
I mean, I'll put it to you this way. If you look at the top 10 on total followers, I don't know what the fucking affiliate or partner or whatever on Mixer. The number one, this is a Microsoft owned application. The number one followed channel on Mixer is Xbox.
Yeah.
And everyone below it is 200,000 followers or less.
Right.
I don't see the fucking draw.
I know a few. I've actually had a few local friends in my city that have recently just started streaming and just very, very, very casual stuff. And of course, they started streaming on Twitch. And there was one of my friends that I'd actually asked about. I think I had asked him. I was talking about YouTube, and because I think he had originally started doing YouTube videos, for what I can't remember now, but I was talking to him about Twitch streaming because he recently started streaming a bunch of Fortnite stuff, and he's a friend of a good friend of mine, so I was talking about Twitch streaming, and I think I remember bringing up Mixer and YouTube at one point, and he didn't even know that YouTube had a streaming platform, didn't even know that Mixer was even a thing. And I feel like if you're brand new, you might as well just start on Twitch, because why not, right? That's kind of the prime place to go.
Yeah, the competition isn't there on Mixer or YouTube, but the viewers aren't either.
No.
Right.
It's going to be just as hard to start on Mixer now as it was Twitch 4 years ago.
But I feel like it was easier to stream on Twitch. I
don't
yes
think
and no.
so.
So here's my thing. There are the big reasons I see that people are making the switch. Number one, money. Facebook and Mixer is fucking giving out dollars in contracts for streaming. I know probably 4 big streamers that were on Twitch that have left for both Mixer and Facebook. It's either they're bored of Twitch as a platform because they've been here since the beginning and they just want something else, or they don't like the direction that Twitch is going in. Like they see that Twitch, the decisions that Twitch and or Amazon are making within Twitch and the changes, and they're scared and they're going elsewhere.
And you think that Facebook and fucking Microsoft are going to do any better?
The grass is always greener on the other side.
You go from the richest man on the face of the earth to the second richest motherfucker on the face of the earth. Come on, people. And the third, that guy's got to be like top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been selling your information for the past 12 years. He may as well be the richest man alive.
So this is what I think about when I think about people going over. They say that Twitch is too saturated and that people are getting started on Mixer because it's easier to get viewers and it's a better community and it's easier to get started over there. Do you want to fight your way through the tough times and the bullshit and the difficulties and the speed bumps to get where you want to be? Or do you want a handout and then to eventually get drowned out by the people who are better than you? It's like
handout.
Right.
Really, most of the argument I see, and just like you said, the grass is always greener shit, and Chad has noticed I love that shit. It's not fucking easy. Like, you might get a handout and you might get a few viewers off the bat because there's literally nobody on this fucking platform worth watching. But at the end of the fucking day, 5 years from now, if you're still doing the same old shit you're doing when you couldn't make it on Twitch, you're damn sure not going to make it anywhere else.
Right. And in that time, like if you try on Twitch and you don't get anywhere, and then you try somewhere else and you're not changing much about what you're doing and you're getting some success, what happens when people who are actually trying move to that platform and just rip all of your viewers out from under you? That's the only thing I don't understand is people are, this is like a general statement, okay? People are saying that they're going over there because it's easier to get viewers. Well, of course it is, because nobody knows what they're looking for. It's slim pickings for good streamers, so anybody's just going to watch anything that's available. But when people start getting a little bit stricter with what they want to watch and the content that they're looking for, they're going to leave you in the dust just like everybody did back on Twitch. So yeah. I'm afraid for the people that are making the move because they think it's easier to get viewers. If you don't,
they can probably get away with more dumb shit over there too.
Right. Oh, their rules are more relaxed. That's going to change. There was the Wild
The
West
first
of
time they get
Twitch.
sued for fucking some kids fucking punching homeless guys in the face, and they're gonna sue Microsoft because somebody was fucking IRL streaming that shit. It's the
Right.
same shit that everything. Justin TV was same shit.
Yep. I have not even thought for a second to start streaming over there. Not even for a second. I created an account over there to reserve my name. That was it. I tried going and looking for streamers to watch. Closed out the tab within probably 90 seconds. This website is terrible looking, very confusing to use. The UI it's harsh on the eyes. I don't wish any ill will on anybody that's thinking about going over to the stream. I just think that people see other people moving over there and think it's the right move just because it's less saturated. And like I just said, the grass is always greener on the other side. Just pick a place and just try.
And it definitely doesn't take more, any kind of work. It's just so easy. Anybody.
It's right. Streaming's not even that hard.
Yeah,
Fucking
he's
stupid
cake.
motherfuckers.
You thought of a better name too. Like, is Mixer really the best thing you thought of?
Yeah.
Right.
To me, my personal opinion, I think that's a terrible fucking name.
That's an old ass word for dance.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what they used to call a fucking
if I go to my
dance.
parents, if I go to my parents and tell them, "Oh yeah, I'm streaming. I'm on this website called Mixer now," they're just like, "What is that? Is that like a dancing website?
Is that
What
like
are
a
you doing?"
porn site? Yeah, it's
I mean,
swinging. It's what we
granted.
call swinging now.
Twitch,
Yep.
like, to somebody who doesn't know, Twitch probably sounds pretty stupid too. But I don't know, Mixer just sounds. I just can't get behind that one.
For me personally, there's just too many relationships and memes and there's just too much here that I couldn't even think about going over to another platform and starting it all over. So it's just completely out of my mind. But good luck to anybody that does it.
Yeah, I'd say I'll see you, but I won't.
LOL Renee is one of the streamers that left Twitch. She's been on Twitch since 2011. Her boyfriend Punji Stick has been on Twitch for a super long time. I think in their case, if I had been on Twitch for close to 8 years and I had the chance to just go to another platform to help them grow, I could probably could see considering that. Like,
You'd have to pay me a fuckload of money.
Yeah. But there's people who just like got that Gary V mindset of I love startups. I love building shit from the ground up, watching it grow, and then bouncing to the next thing. I understand that entrepreneur side of the brain, but I wouldn't do it. Not I. Any final thoughts on that before we move on? Come on, middle age. You got some final words?
No.
Okay.
No. I pretty much agree with everything you guys said. I think it's cool. I think it's good, but I mean, I will not be frequenting Mixer anytime soon.
Yep. All right, final gaming news and discussion point that SaltySam is going to take the lead on: NBA 2K E-League.
So this was a topic that was kind of thrown in my lap before and after the last Crocs, and I totally fucking whiffed, forgot to put it in the fucking script. But I just so happened to be scrolling through the Twitch top viewed pages or viewed streams, and I caught a stream of what I thought was somebody illegally restreaming a basketball game, like an actual NBA game. And then I started doing more research. So back last year, I believe it was, the actual NBA, the National Basketball Association, actually went to all their teams in the offseason and said, who wants in on this esports franchise rights? 17 of the real teams put their money on the line to commission this 2K League. And then they teamed up with the makers of 2K. I think it's 2 Interactive, and I'll post the link in chat for more info. and they actually fucking created a full-out competition in order to recruit players. So what they did was in NBA 2K18 or 17 probably at the time, you could do a certain game mode in a certain difficulty. It was like a one-on-one thing, and you had to win 50 matches, and that qualified you. And then after that, they took like 13,000 fucking people. They did a second round. If you made it through the second round, you were interviewed, and then 72,000 fucking people were whittled down to 102 players. And these were like straight up position players, just like the NBA had. So like you had point guards and centers and power forwards and all this shit. And then they had a combine, just like the NFL and the NBA have, where they could show off their skills and play, you know, pick up games and all kinds of shit. And then they had a full out draft where the fucking commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, was like, with the 14th pick in the NBA 2K draft, will the Dallas Mavericks select bang. And these guys are actual official NBA employees. They have retirement benefits, health care. They get paid like $30,000, $40,000 a year. And they're paying for them to live in their home city. So some of these fucking teams, that link has a fucking map on it. I think it's either the Sacramento Kings or the Warriors. It might be the Warriors. They put these motherfuckers up in a house in like San Francisco, like a fucking mansion. They have training facilities at the same arenas where the teams train, with like mega big screen TVs and fucking like all kinds of energy drink fridges and all kinds of shit. And basically that website I showed you is the 2K website. It's 2kleague.nba.com, and they live stream partnered with it's not partnered, but they live stream solely on Twitch every fucking game they play, and they're partnered with a bunch of big companies: HyperX, Intel, Alienware, Jordan's, New Era, and
Yeezys.
they fucking have. It's basically the way the seasons work is it's like 3 tournaments and then there's a playoff, and then 8 teams in the playoff. It's best of 3 games per stage. Best of 3 winner moves on. But it's like a total of $1 million in prizes that can be awarded in total. But just the fact that, like, I see this as esports. I see this as what a lot of these gaming, like the typical FPS esports teams, need to be looking at. Because don't get me wrong, yes, these 17 teams have more money than God. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban wants to drop $1 million on a fucking mansion outside of Dallas and give these guys. I mean, he's one of the biggest proponents of 2K League. So there was a fucking background, like a behind the whatever on, or outside the line special or something on ESPN called Not My League or something like that, or out of my league. I don't know what the fuck it's called. But it was an ESPN special about this league and how crazy it was. And like Mark Cuban is dumping every dime he's got into this shit. And
Does he still manage the NBA team? Is it the Mavericks?
I mean, he still owns it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's never going to give them up ever. He's
Okay.
a fucking billionaire. He could give a fuck less, but
There was a dope documentary about him and what he did to that team by turning them around and shit. It was good watch.
well, and I just found out while doing the research for this shit and finding out about all the stuff that go with it, that DC has their own, they're called the Wizards District Gaming. So the Washington Wizards have their own 2K League team.
Wow.
But the problem is that they play all the fucking games in New York in one of the theaters of Madison Square Garden.
Can you imagine getting drafted for playing a video game and like moving from one city to another?
Press, like, and if you look at some of the teams, these motherfuckers ain't like 18 years old coming out of high school. Some of these people are full grown ass men who have no fucking business living in a house full of 20-year-olds in LA or some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Like some of these players, and I mean, if you go to the website, they're listed not by their actual name, they're listed by their screen names. So like if you want to find out who the players on your teams are, feel free to go ahead and do that, because some of them, there's a guy who I don't know how old he is. Let's see, he was born in 94, so but he looks like
That's
like
24.
he looks like he's 40 years old.
Oh man.
He plays for Washington. His name is Boo Painter.
Wait, he plays for who?
For Washington, for DC.
Washington?
Yeah, Washington. That's the one.
Okay, just making sure.
Come out with me with that roads and fucking hey, this shit. Fuck you, you fake Canadian.
Washington.
I think it's cool they're doing it. It'd be cool if they also did something like a Madden league, with football teams would be awesome, or like an NHL league with NHL teams, in the game. Now I know this is 2K, not EA, so 2K doesn't have a pro sports game like football. I mean, pro sports game anymore. So, but I mean, if they turn this model into something successful that's going to generate income for them, and gets people to buy more of their stuff, I mean, I wouldn't see why.
That's
EA wouldn't do
this
it.
is official. This is the first major sport to do anything like this.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I think that if they can show that it's gonna make them some money, I think other people will jump on it too. I think it's really neat. I think it could be a model for future esports type teams and stuff. So I think it's cool.
There's some cool ass shit going on right now.
Yeah. I know Knackers listens to a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts. Do you listen to very much of the MMA ones where he has like MMA people on and
I like listening to when he has Brennan Schaub on.
Yeah.
I like them together. I can't stand his fucking jiu-jitsu friend.
Joey
Diaz?
Yeah.
No,
Not Joey
the
Diaz.
conspiracy dude.
Yeah, I can't either. He's too out there.
Oh,
What the fuck is his name?
I know
Fuck!
it's reading me too.
Eddie Bravo.
Eddie
There you
Bravo.
go.
Yeah, that guy's a
Yeah.
fucking. I can't stand him, but
He's
gone.
He's fucking gotten hit in the head too much.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was. I can't remember which episode it was that he had somebody on. It might have been the episode that he had George St. Pierre on. Did you listen to that one at all?
I saw
Canadian
clips
fighter.
on YouTube, but not in full.
It was either that episode or a different episode that I was listening to, but they were actually talking about how, and this is very specific to MMA, and this could be very relative to other sports like NBA and NFL and all that stuff, but they're just talking about how in MMA, like, there's so much problems with performance enhancing drugs and all that stuff going on in that sport that, like, they think that, like, it's such a problem that nowadays that in 10 years down the road, like, or eventually you're not going to be able to have stuff like the UFC anymore, because there's going to be so many different drugs and so many different things that you can do with your body that there's not going to be just human natural bodies to fight and do that kind of sport anymore. So
Right.
there's not going to be like natural athletes anymore. Everyone's going to be juiced up. Everyone's going to be just have all these different weird technological things in them that makes them better than a normal human being. So they were actually talking about on that episode how about eventually sports like the Olympics and all that stuff is going to be gone, because we can't have that anymore without people doping themselves, or
I mean, it's either that or you do what Arbor said. Just
They're gonna
fucking let
kill
people
each
juice
other.
up and beat the fuck out.
exactly.
Who cares? That's what you're fucking paying for. That is exactly why people watch 90% of fucking sports, especially fighting. You cannot tell me that you have compassion when somebody gets their fucking ear ripped off when you're watching them beat the snot out of each other.
Yeah. I don't
am paying
understand
for that.
Yeah.
The same way the fucking Greeks and Romans and shit paid for gladiators and fucking threw people in there to get eaten by lions. People are fucking brutal ass regardless. We can say it's a sport,
Yeah.
but these motherfuckers have been jacked up their entire lives. They're humongous. I mean, look at the NFL in the 60s compared to now.
Right.
You didn't have 350-pound, jacked, stocky motherfucking linebackers coming across the line on you. You had a 200-pound dude who delivered your fucking mail every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have created these fucking monsters, and they're getting to the top of monsterdom. What do you want me to do?
When I watched the UFC for the first time, you know that they're hitting really hard, but sometimes it doesn't look like they're hitting that hard. I remember watching a video of Joe Rogan spin kicking a punching bag, and I was like, these people do this shit to each other's faces. I know
exactly what the fuck video you're talking about. Like, it's just like a cell phone camera from this, like, inside the gym, and he's actually, like, doing a lap.
The punching bag creases in half and swings like a fucking tetherball. I mean, people do this to each other's bodies. How do you survive? I mean, this is why people have 3 to 4 month recovery times in between fights. It's because they just get the ever living shit beat out of them.
Yeah, and that's like, it's beyond just like how much that would hurt. Just imagine the damage they're doing to their internal organs. Like,
right.
Constantly.
And NFL
smashed.
Players are dying from brain damage, and they have protective gear on. What the fuck is going to happen to these MMA people?
That's why they don't fucking last, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of them nowadays that are trying to come back, even though they're well out of their prime. And it's like, oh, buddy, you don't need to come back. Like,
quit while you're behind.
You're going to die.
But so they were talking about on that episode of that Joe Rogan podcast I listened to, that like eventually, because you're not going to be able to have natural athletes anymore, everyone's just going to be gaming. Because that's the only way that you can do it nowadays. That's the only way that sports are going to be able to become popular nowadays is esports. And they were talking about that, and I was like, you know what, that's to me that's very true, because one of these days, stuff like this 2K NBA league is going to be the thing, because we're not going to be able to have Olympics because everyone's going to be juiced up. Everyone's going to claim that everybody else is juiced up. Everyone's going to be like, oh, the Russians are juiced up. Oh, now the Americans are juiced up. And it's like nobody can trust each other. So we're all just going to play it virtually.
Russians are juiced up from birth, dude. They are just genetically fucking monsters.
That's not formula.
Yeah.
Fucking protein shake, bitch.
Fucking the breast milk over in Russia is not milk. It is straight vodka. Welcome back,
I picked
Jimbo.
an interesting time to jump back into the conversation.
You want some titty vodka, my friend?
We're talking about getting juiced.
Nice.
All right. That is it for the gaming news and discussion. We are moving on to the question and answer part of the show. Thank you to everybody that submitted questions while we were sitting here chat-a-lacking. First question comes from Scopes. Would you rather never drink water again or never go swimming again?
Won't I die if I don't drink water? Like, fuck swimming. I kind of want to live.
No, like, I think this question is if you could go your whole life without drinking water because you don't need it, but sacrifice swimming.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I read it.
I'd be cool with that. I would do a lot more hiking if I didn't have to drink water. It's like, dude, I'm going to fucking walk across Death Valley. Everybody's like, okay, whatever.
I don't need water, bitch.
Fucking trampsing across there.
I don't know, man. I like swimming. That's one of the most fun things to do when I go kayaking is you paddle out and you're hot and you're like, all right, I'm going to jump in the river, so you tie off somewhere and go swim for a while. So yeah, it'd be hard for me to do that.
Okay.
And I love beer too. Like, I mean, to give up swimming, that would suck. Plus, I've got a kid. He loves to swim. So I couldn't do that with him anymore. Nah, I couldn't do that. So.
42, before you answer this question, just know that you're still good to swim in pussy. You're not giving that up. So just don't worry about that.
That's a close one. That was going to be an easy answer for me. That was tough. It's like I hate fueling up my car with gas to fucking drive. I hate drinking water because it just doesn't taste good. I'd rather drink other shit. So I'd rather be able to swim than drink water.
I would like to never have to drink water ever again.
Right?
I fucking hate drinking water, dude.
I don't know anybody who's got a fucking pool, so I don't go swimming like ever.
See, I live in Texas, so it's one of the ways we beat the heat in the summertime. You know, it's like you'll go somewhere. Like my mother-in-law has a pool. My sister-in-law lives on the river. And then there's all these rivers around me that I like to go to. So that'd be taking away one of my favorite activities to do in the summertime. So I'd have to say, I get it. And if it wasn't for me living in a hot place, I probably may be on the other end of it. But yeah, I couldn't not swim anymore. That'd be tough.
If I had 3 wishes, it would be, I wish I never would have to drink water again. I wish I would never have to sleep again. And I wish I could have a bigger penis. 3 wishes. Easy. Easy. Next question. This one comes from Mesqua. With the addition of Fortnite game, are kids being introduced to shooting games too soon in their gaming careers / lives?
If their fucking parents let them.
Yep.
It's T for teen for a fucking reason. If you can't handle it, then your fucking parents need to realize that and not let you.
Yeah.
If my mom knew the games I played when I was 12 and 13 years old, she would have fucking killed me. But I'm old enough to where ESRB, that shit wasn't dick back when I was a kid.
Right.
GTA 3 didn't carry you, not a fucking worry. But I mean, if you fucking don't think your kid is mature enough to handle that shit, it is your responsibility, not the gaming side of things.
A little bit of trivia there with the ESRB. Like the game that got the ESRB to come out for games was Mortal Kombat, actually, the original Mortal Kombat. So it's the ESRB's been around a while. However, every kid is different. And I know this as my experience as a teacher and also as a parent means that, yes, there are certain guidelines you should go by about what to let your kid or whoever see or not do. But it's broad strokes. I mean, you can't not that same thing that applies to one 8 or 9 year old is not going to apply to the other 8 or 9 year old. And it depends on the situation, you know, with the home life and how the kid is and, you know, yada, yada. But generally speaking, I do think that, yeah, 12, 13, that's probably an appropriate age. You know, I know there's kids younger than that are playing it. And again, depending on their situation, I think it's okay. I think under 10 is probably too young to be playing that game. You know, there's other games that, you know, can be played, I think. But who knows? What do I know?
And they shouldn't be playing it 12 hours a day, 7 days a week either.
Right. Oh, of course not. Yeah. Yeah.
You think 42?
I mean, I don't have a kid. I don't really have that. I remember when I went to EB Games once to try and buy a game, and I got told that I was too young and I didn't have my ID on me. I didn't have a parent with me, so I wasn't allowed to buy it, and I was pissed. That's all I have to input on this. I definitely don't think kids too young should be playing that game, but
something I heard not the other day, but the other week or month, there was some ramblings on Twitter about people being upset that Ninja was no longer swearing on his streams. Whatever you think about that, what the fuck ever. But there was somebody who said, man, I'm a parent and I don't like my kid listening to swearing while he's killing other people. I'm like, oh, that's a great fucking point. You're letting your kid watch and play a game where the strict objective is to kill everybody else on the map, but yet you're not okay with them listening to swear words while doing so. I had not thought of that up until I heard that.
That just proves the demographic.
Right. 100%.
Like, if that's Ninja's demographic. It is what it is. It's making them a fuck ton of money, but
I think that agreeing that Fortnite being introduced too young would also mean that I agree with video games have a negative impact on kids and make them worse than they were before. Or the fact that them playing a shooting game makes them want to go out and shoot people, which I don't think is the case. I don't agree with that at all.
Agreeing with it doesn't make you say that, because I think you could agree to say that a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old shouldn't be playing Resident Evil.
But I think that's a wide. I think that's a stretch, because Resident Evil is based on horror and gore and shit like nightmares are made of, while Fortnite is just you shoot the person and they disappear. I get what you're saying, but
yeah,
like what's the premise that Fortnite being introduced too young? Is it shouldn't be introduced this young because kids shouldn't be made aware of the addictive nature of video games, or are we saying it shouldn't be introduced this young because it's a shooting game?
I think it's because it's a shooting game.
Right.
I think that's the idea behind it. Now the violence in that game is not terrible. It's just, like Hookahos just said in chat, it's really about the gunplay stuff. The kids really need to be doing gunplay like that, realistic. I mean, yes, it's cartoony, but it's...
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, even when I was 5 or 6 years old, it was cowboys and Indians and fucking cap guns and fucking Nerf
cops
guns
and
out the
robbers.
ass, and we fucked each other up.
Yeah.
And not one fucking time. That might be my naivete fucking speaking through, but not one fucking time during that did I ever think of this as a real gun, and this is something I want to do.
I know, and I think that's the point I was making. I think it's different for every kid. I think for most kids, it's okay by the time they start playing it. For some, they are probably too young and don't need to be playing it. That's all.
I mean, there's definitely some. There's probably some that should never fucking play it.
Yeah.
Their whole fucking lives. So
it's hard to answer this question without really looking at it as that. There just needs to be better parenting involved. You can put it back on the parents. Usually when parents don't like something, as I found out, a lot of times they look to blame something else for the problem that their kids have.
Oh, yes. Especially nowadays. Don't blame the kid. Blame everybody who's ever spoken to him.
Blame the teacher, blame the coach, blame the whoever. Yeah.
It definitely has nothing to do with you drinking your ass off every night or leaving them with a babysitter in a daycare all day, every day, and not spending any quality time with your family, or, definitely doesn't have nothing to do with, general neglect from his own parents. It's definitely the teacher that sees him 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, twice as much as you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suck one.
Agreed.
Fuck.
Just realized we are at the 3 hour mark, so I'll try and get through these a little quickly. Mr. Vansman asks, what is the most pleasant part of your day? What was the most pleasant part of your day?
I got to have coffee with my parents, and I had a nice breakfast.
Ooh, I had a nice breakfast too. That was great. I woke up. My wife let me sleep in, which I don't get ever. And when I woke up, she woke me up, and I could smell bacon cooking.
Ooh,
which we're not big. We're not big. Get up early and make breakfast. I come out, bacon, eggs, pancakes, the whole shit, and it was already ready. Like I woke up and went right to the table. Whew. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I woke up. We dog sitted one of my friend's dogs, so he came by with breakfast tacos this morning. So I had breakfast and then chilled out on the chair in my living room for a while and just watched some TV, and then took a nap. Like my son let us take a nap, and then I got up, and then he wanted to play some video games, so we played video games. I don't know. I think playing some video games with my son was probably the most enjoyable part of my day, as far as what I got to do today before podcasting. He's getting old enough now to where he can actually handle like a video game controller pretty well, and he's not constantly needing me to help him with stuff, like he's figuring it out now. So it's becoming a lot less frustrating to play video games because I don't have to stop and help him every 10 seconds. So we played Yoshi's Woolly World yesterday on the Wii U.
Ooh.
And then we played Marvel Lego Superheroes 2 today. And both great co-op games to play. And we had a lot of fun.
I had two pleasant parts of the day that were pretty close to each other. One, got an Amazon package that had my new work lunch bag and coffee thermos and coffee cup. I found this brand called Arctic, which is basically just like a cheaper version of Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
And I got myself is that Arctic or Yeti?
I'm the asshole that I couldn't find the Arctic handle, so I bought the Yeti handle, but it's a $15 Arctic cup.
Nice. Yeah, my 12-ounce coffee cup was $9.99, and my 20-ounce cup or tumbler or whatever was $16.99.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
So I got those. I was super excited about that. And then Weenie and I took a nice drive in the beautiful weather up to Billy Sims' barbecue place here. We got some pulled pork sandwiches with some potato salad and some mac and cheese. Posted a picture in the food and health. Oh, contradictory. But it was super fucking good. I haven't had the pulled pork sandwiches from there in a really long time, and it was really, really good. Next question. This one comes. Swag. Swag was asking about why Salty wasn't wearing a hat, but he's wearing a hat now. Next question from Zonger. What do you think about Microsoft possibly buying GitHub?
Isn't GitHub like a download service?
Yeah, it's where like a lot of people who are open source enthusiasts build like third-party tools and upload them there.
A lot of coders.
Yep.
Okay.
Coders, programmers, DIYers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter to me because I don't really use that site. So yeah.
I don't really have a opinion on it.
I don't use GitHub. I've never, and I used to do a shitload of coding. I just don't see the point unless, like, I am the kind of stubborn asshole where I will literally torture in order to figure something out before I just post to the random internets to come help me.
I downloaded a couple of Skyrim VR mods off of GitHub from people who have made mods for it, and if they make it difficult for me to do that, god damn it, I'll be pissed.
Oh, yeah. They will.
Being a streamer, I've used GitHub a lot. It's where I've gotten webcam tools, OBS plugins. Most recently, I've gotten VR stuff from GitHub. I use GitHub a lot. I don't use it so much as a sharing and discussion platform, but I use it to download a shit ton of stuff. Next question. This one comes from Scopes. Any opinions on trailer for Battlefield 5? We touched on that. Also from Scopes, do you expect the Black Ops 4 Battle Royale mode to work well or at all?
I mean, it's not that complicated. I don't think anybody's going to play it if that's what you're asking, but it'll probably work okay.
It'll gain a little bit of hype for a couple weeks, and then after a while it'll die off. Can't see them overtaking Fortnite by any means.
No.
I think it's going to do well. One of the reasons I think it's going to do well is because Dr. Disrespect, being a huge Call of Duty fan with the Call of Duty career background, think he's probably going to be one of the people that pilots that game. And the fact that he's going to be playing it is going to be the reason that a lot of other people are playing it. I think a AAA developing company behind a Battle Royale game is probably a good thing. I think they have the chance to set a standard that none of the other companies have quite yet.
Wait a minute. Isn't Epic Games a AAA company?
Maybe.
Aren't they the people that made okay, I'm gonna do my research real quick and see what games they've made.
I don't know. When I think, because I don't think Epic has been around and done as many big titles as some of the other AAA.
I don't think they make the games. They just make the fucking. I mean, they had a bunch of games back in the day, but they mainly are there specifically
just
for
the
the fucking
publisher.
engine.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're the engine for a lot of games.
Yeah.
Unreal Engine. That's what Ark's built off of too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games built on.
This is probably their Willy Wonka golden ticket into that realm, but I probably wouldn't consider them a AAA publisher / developer.
Yeah, I mean, Unreal Tournament is probably the only thing worth a fuck that they ever made.
Yeah, Gears of War. That was the one I was thinking of.
But did they make it or did they?
I think they published it. They
I was
published
about to say, I think they just
Okay.
built that on the engine.
it. Yeah. But that's another big one. I mean, that's a pretty big series. you know.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
anyway.
the Unreal
Gears
Engine
of
is
War
a
Battle
whole
Royale.
fucking amazing because that's what they made Arkham Knight on. The new Street Fighter games made on it.
Hmm.
I mean, the engine itself, that part of the company, yes, they're top of the fucking line. But as far as actual game design and manufacturing, Fortnite's about it.
Right. The most late, not Unreal. Who made Quake? Who's the company behind Quake?
ID software,
Maybe.
wasn't it?
Did that die? That new game?
Yeah, I saw some esports about it recently, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that game's still alive! I forgot."
ID Software, you are correct.
Yeah,
Steam charts. Actually, I don't think Quake was on Steam. I think they had their own launcher.
yeah, they did.
I had a lot of fun playing Quake when the beta was out.
I did too, and now that you mention it, I might actually have to look into that.
I might give it a shot. It is not a game you can stream and pay attention to chat because it's just go nonstop. But I had a good time with it. Okay, next question. When is the Crocs LAN party with Cruz's addendum? When is the normal LAN party? I've had little thoughts in my head about doing some sort of community meetup. I don't think it'll happen this summer, but I might think about planning something next summer where it'll be a online friend / Twitch community meetup where, you know, everybody can just come in, rent a cheap, shitty hotel, and we just plan things to do. I'm sure gaming will happen, but I've done LAN parties where everybody brings or rents computers and we all play in the same room. And while it's awesome, we all play games with each other all the time. And when you get together, it's more about just spending time with each other, getting to know each other on a personable level, going out, doing things. So possibly not this summer, but next summer, I'm sort of thinking of doing some sort of meetup where we can all just get together, go to a baseball game, hang out at Dave & Buster's, get drunk and play some video games
That's
with each
what
other.
we said last time we came up.
Watch a
We
bunch
passed
of
Dave & Buster's on the way there and back every day, and I was like, we should have been over there.
Yeah. We went for Weenie's birthday last year and it was fucking awesome. So I'm totally down to go again. Also, we should do some whirly ball.
Fireball.
Oh, fireball and whirly ball? Let's go.
Hell yeah.
You
Hell
look,
yeah.
you look confused, Salty.
I don't know what whirly ball is.
Whirly
either.
ball is you are in a picture, you're on a basketball court and you're in a golf cart that you have to steer with one hand. The other hand is a scoop, and you have to scoop up the ball and shoot it in a basketball hoop. It's like 5v5. It's fucking
In a
awesome.
golf cart?
No, go-kart. Did I say golf
Oh.
cart?
Yeah, you said golf cart.
Oh, sorry. Miniature go-kart that has like a metal steering wheel with a rod. So you're spinning it left and right in order to turn. And it's one ball, 2 hoops, and you have to scoop up the ball and score. It's pretty fucking fun.
Sounds fun.
So yeah, possibly next summer. We'll see. Can you help me with my Microsoft Outlook installation? Absolutely fucking not. Outlook is an abomination. I see that there's questions in chat right now. Because we're at the 3-hour mark, I'm just going to have to call it there. I apologize. But we thank you guys for being here, hanging out, throwing questions our way. Really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap this show up. We're going to go around the room one final time, get everybody's social media, what they have going on with their lives on the internet. And SaltySam, what's going on with you, man?
My name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch at SaltySam, Twitter at TheSaltySam, Instagram Salty All Day, and I will be back to my virtual life just as soon as my real life stops fucking me.
Yeah.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream. MiddleAgedStream on Twitter. This week will be a little different than my usual schedule. I'll stream Monday this week. I normally do Wednesdays, but I'm pushing that to Thursday. And then should be back again probably Saturday night. But my birthday's this week, so I wanted to be able to stream a little bit on my birthday. It's always fun to kind of hang out with people across the internet on your name's day. So, yeah, that's it for me.
I am MrFortyTwo, and I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitch at MrFortyTwo, and also on Twitter at MrFortyTwoTV.
My name is The Knackers. You can find me on this very channel or on Twitter and Instagram at Knackers with 3 A's. This week, I've got some Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain coming up. There might be a short impromptu VR stream somewhere in there just to do some testing. Not really sure yet. But that's kind of it for me. All right, motherfuckers. Thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate all the love and support. Crocs and Odd Pockets will be back in 2 weeks for episode 64. And we hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Get some shit done. Fuck some pussies. Touch some buttholes. Get that ass sucked. You guys know what's good. We love you all. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.